Let's go! Yo, this is a message to all believers. We're not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yo, listen. Living in a time where people staring in your face. Yeah. Problem situations, tragedies are commonplace. Persecution running rampant, it makes you wanna lose your faith, yeah. But please don't be discouraged, just remember he's the way. Yeah. Let your light shine. Oh, gave his son so the world gets in him who should believe. Everybody shout! Even from the mountain, even in the valley low. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Can't keep it a secret. Not like the whole world knows. Listen, I get so excited at the mention of his name. Yeah. There's no way that I can hide it. It's written all over my face. To tell me who else would love me after all the wrong I've done. So don't expect me to keep quiet. I'm about to lose control. Yeah. Gave me the victory, I'll tell the world. This joy I have, the world didn't give it. This joy I have, so the world can't take it away. Say tell it, say tell it. If God's been good to you, you gotta lift your hands, you gotta lift your voice. Tell the world how he brought you through. Send it up down the street.
rhythm, move left to right. A new experience, baby, gon' hit your stride. And who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? And when the grooves get good, don't right to left. Shut up, y'all. We got grab the tread. Now who walking? I'm walking. Is you walking? I'm walking. Then stretch and walk it out like your plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you, so I will trust you. Here I let my fear die. That's why I'm walking. When my eyes can't get it right, faith will be my guide. And I'll follow the trouble. When I don't understand, I will surrender to your plan. Don't clap your hands, everybody. I say feet don't fail me now. Don't chase it, ready? Yeah, put some head on one. You know your plans you have for me. There's no evil. It's all good things. Lord, I love you. I will trust you. So here I see you die. That's why I'm walking. I'm walking. With my eyes can't get it right. Faith will be my guide. And even through the trouble, I don't understand. I'll relinquish all my plans.
Good Lord, open up doors. Took me down a path I ain't never been before. Looking at the road, I don't see a lot of space. Guess I gotta drop my load, cause you're picking up the pace. Don't leave me to die, be by my side. I get a little anxious, please be my guide. I got my feet shot, I've been prepping for the moment I would get the green light. So if you see me, I'm rolling like feet. Don't fail me now.
Trying to tell you like I am. My faith. Oh Lord, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, say I am. I'm walking. When my eyes can't get it right, will be my guide.
I'll follow. When I don't understand, I surrender to your plan. For me. Please don't fail me now. I'm walking.
Trying to tell you like
I'm walking.
ooh, I'm walking. Anybody else going? Yeah, see I am. Can I get a witness?
I'm walking.
I'm walking. Wherever you may lead. Yeah. Come on, man. Walking by faith. Sing. Get grandmama now. Go ahead, get Papa.
I'm so fly, 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 I'm so fly.
Hey. That beat right there, boy, I swear. Every time I hear that, I just want to be like, oh. Yo, good morning. You are locked in with Zeke Live in the morning, and this is a great way to start your day. I promise y'all, this is a great way to start your day. I am half awake. And I think that counts for something, right? I'm half awake. Y'all know what it is. I stayed up all night. Okay, I didn't stay up all night. I slept. After I got home, I wasn't feeling very well. So I laid down, went to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night. I got this bad thing now where I do that. I wake up in the middle of the night because I slept like the early evening and the late evening or whatever. So I woke up, it must have been about, let's call it 3 o'clock, and I got caught up in one of these little series, these little short reel series. Am I the only person that's ever been caught up in those little short reels? Like, they're like these little movies, and they're like a minute long. Like every episode is like a minute and a half or something like that long. And like they just keep you going. And they give you like a bunch of free episodes on Facebook. Like they get you caught into the story, and then they stop it, and you gotta like fish to go find it, or it costs you $20 for the week. One of those things, yeah. So I was up watching one of those about a master chef this morning. I will say last night. This morning. So if I look and sound tired, I'm telling y'all, that's exactly what it is. I am tired. But it's a good day, y'all. And like I said, this is a great way to start today. You're locked in with Zeke live in the morning. This is Tuesday, March the 25th, and I'm telling y'all right now, we've got great conversation this week. We've got great conversation this week. I want y'all to really honestly get involved in this conversation, because this week, again, we're talking about mental health, trauma awareness, ways to get involved in advocating for our community. That's what this whole week is about. We've got guests coming up these next few days. And then also on top of that, I got a special guest today. I was having a conversation with my mama. So I just spilled the beans right now. My mama's going to come on later on at 9 o'clock. So in the 9 o'clock hour, you don't want to miss, because we're going to start a conversation that has now turned into a 5-part conversation with me and my mother. And this is really in regards to knowing yourself, ways to create safe spaces for family. And we believe, stronger families create safer communities. And so that's what we're dealing with. So you want to definitely be here. I do believe we got my girl coming on. I got to check, because I thought I responded to a message of hers last night. So, Rhonda, I'll announce it if you see my text that I just sent you. Oh my God. Boy, what I tell y'all, I was, y'all talk about locked in the morning. I was locked into that little series, these little Chinese series, these little short reels. Like, I know I'm not the only person who got caught up with these things, man. I'm telling you, they will take your whole day, your whole night, and you'll just be stuck. Anyways, let's do some shout outs real quick. Let's see who's with us this morning. Oh, look who's here, y'all. It's me. I'm here. On Facebook and YouTube. In fact, if you have not, make sure you subscribe right there to the YouTube page. Let me see if I get the right side. There it is. You want to subscribe to YouTube. You want to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, Zeke Lock New X. On the Instagram side, it's good to see y'all this morning. That's where we are. Follow us on the Facebook page as well. I don't know if you're following me right now from my profile or my page. There's two different things on Facebook that this is streaming through. If you're on my profile, that means my friend on there. If you're on my page, you could be my friend on there too, but that means you're following me. So I want to get everybody steered to those two pages, YouTube and there. That's kind of where we want to start doing this show from. For the time being, we'll continue to stream through my profile. We'll continue to do that, but this is where we kind of want everybody to go. I'm telling y'all right now, it's a better listening experience. It's just a better overall experience on the YouTube side. I just got to be honest. Facebook, step your game up. Anyways, let's see who else is here. We got our girl Brony Cat. Yo! Always the first comment in there. And then there's my guy, my dude, my friend, my homie, my brother, Jeremy Keys. We're going to have Keys on here one day, y'all. I want to have a conversation. We'll have a music week or something like that, or a music day. And we'll have a conversation about what that's like and some of the artists he's played with and put shows together. Keys, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just throwing it on out there that we can do that. Brony Cat always gives us a whole lot of love. I really definitely appreciate that. There's nobody like the Lock Stars, man. Y'all definitely make sure to keep us going. My Aunt Regina is on this morning. What's up, Auntie? Happy Tuesday. Hey, my mama's gonna be on here today, yo. My mama's gonna be on, so you definitely want to check that out. Don't miss it. There's our good man, our friend. That's Unc right there. That's Willie L. Jordan, aka J. Ara. Y'all make sure to say what's up to him. I actually need to give you a call because I want you to come on this week. I know we had talked about it, and I got to plan this stuff, and I just I'm gonna give you a call later on today, JR. Oh yeah, there's our girl Rhonda on the rocks. Y'all make sure y'all are following that. If you're not following that, I'm gonna leave her name up there for one quick second. I'm gonna leave her up there for one quick second, because if you're not following that podcast, I was on there last night. It was on, I don't think it was on YouTube. What was on? I think it was on Facebook. I think I was on Facebook watching it. It was randomly Rhonda. And y'all was just having some hilarious conversation. And so I'm telling y'all, all the lock stars also become a rock star. RHOCK star. Make sure you also become a rock star. Rhonda has been on the show many times. I think she'll be on today and Friday. Like, we're doing a whole thing with that now, where I'm bringing her perspective in. That's my girl. That's our girl. That's part of the Lock Star family. So y'all make sure y'all go follow her podcast, because it's interesting. It's exciting. That's why I have her on. Y'all see her personality. Y'all see how she is. And that's where you're going to get the real unfiltered Rhonda. So, she try to keep it together over here. But over there, you get her real and unfiltered. So you definitely want to lock into that. Let's see here. Who else we got in here? Oh, cool. See, there we go. Perfect. Yo, so check this out. Hooked on Country Wayne. Country Wayne is doing the exact same thing in the black community. This is true. It's the exact same thing with Country Wayne. Like, these little 90-second episodes, man, these things are, like, they will, like JR said, they'll send you down a rabbit hole, man. I'm telling you. Like, they go for, okay, so the series I watched last night, and God bless whoever it was that posted in the comments, they put up a link to a YouTube page. They put up a link to a YouTube page that had the entire show. So I just went to YouTube and just watched the entire show. Like, for this one that I got caught on. It was a chef. Who was it? It was like a master chef. It's always like the same plot. It's always like somebody really rich or really famous or really influential who like goes and becomes like a pauper, basically. Like, and they either find love, and then the family is always like the worst people in the world. They're like slapping people and hitting people. This is a Country Wayne. This is, those little Chinese series, right? Like Short Reel, and what's another one? There's Short Reel, and where's my phone? There's like Flicks or something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all which ones it is. These are the ones that have me. Let's see. They've got Drama Box. So if you've never been caught up on Drama Box, that's one of them. The other one, Flick Reels, they've got me. Real Short got me. And then Good Short got me. And then there was another one today I was watching, like I said, this morning. That's why I'm all like, I forget the name. It was like not Netflix, but like Net Short or something like that. Then somebody posted. Anyways, this was a master chef that had become like, I guess he, wanted to get rid of all his fame and everything. And he goes and becomes a regular old, what do you call it? Like a prep cook, basically, like a prep, it was like a prep boy or whatever. And so everyone's like talking down to him. I can't believe the chef would put this in your hands. And it was like a contest, and they have to like go to the death. You have to like cut off your tendons if you lose. It's one of these crazy things with like these obnoxious plots. Like everything is worth billions of dollars. I mean, it's just obnoxious. But nonetheless, here I am, stayed up all night, all morning watching that. So there you have it. Whatever they're doing, they're winning. If I could only get it, if I could only get myself to that level. And here's the thing, they charge you $20, bro. They charge you $20 like for the week to watch. That's so much more expensive than Netflix. And like, you could buy, what is that, $20 a week? You can get Netflix, Peacock, Hulu, and Disney. And like another thing, like the same price that is per month. And they got me. So there you have it. Yo, check this out. I love this right here. Tune into Zeke Live for your morning drive. Oh, there's a new saying right there. Keys, we on to something. I'm taking that one. Tune in to Zeke Live. Oh, you got to say it like this. Lock in. We always say lock in over here. Lock in with Zeke Live for your morning drive. Yeah. I love it. So that's my guilty pleasure. I just gave y'all my guilty pleasure. Sometimes when I'm sleepy, it's not because I was up working. It's because I was up watching some thing that I thought was just an ad on my phone for, just for a few minutes. And it ended up being like 20 minutes long. And then I got sucked down a rabbit hole that I had to find, you got to go find you have to go find the rest of it. You have to. And then if they get you sucked in enough, you download the app and then you go and watch the episode on the app. And if they really get you sucked in, you spend $20. I can't lie. I've spent that $20 twice now. I've done twice. There was one. Let's see. The first time I was in Norway. That was the first time I did it. I was in Norway, and it was like late at night. I couldn't sleep. So last time I was in Norway was it this past October? Maybe. I think it was this past October. Either way it goes, though, that we were in a season where the sun. No. This might not have been October. This might have been. I think this was in the summertime. Yeah, this might have been July. Matter of fact, right before I went to Alaska, because it was the same thing in Alaska. Whatever it was, when I was there this particular time, the sun doesn't go down all the way. Like I kid you not, it's like 2 a.m. and the sun is like, it looks like what it looks like right now at dawn, right? So like I was having struggle sleeping. My cabin didn't have like blackout curtains, so I could not get to sleep. And when it's like daylight, birds are chirping, there's animals moving around, so it's just not quiet. It's not still. People are out all times of the night. I mean, it's really cool. It's really awesome. But when you got the jet lag and you're over there and you got to be up early in the morning, it's really hard to sleep. It's really hard to get like a regulated sleep pattern, right? So I'm over there and I'm trying to watch, at least watch some TV or something, and everything's in Norwegian. So I can't even watch TV. So some kind of way I came across these little things, these little things on the phone that they give you. One came across on my Facebook, and I got caught up watching it, and it was too good. It was dubbed, but at least it was in English, right? So I got caught up watching it, and then of course, boom, you hit that little mark, pow, where the series goes off, and it's like you got to pay for this if you. And I was like, forget it. And I saw the price tag. It was $19.99 or something like that. And that was for like just the week. And like legit, I mean, like didn't even go to bed that night. I was just, man. And everything. Yeah, JR. Yeah. The acting is so bad. Y'all, okay. When I say the absolute worst acting you will ever encounter in your life. Like, I'm trying to think what to compare to. So soap opera acting? Think soap opera acting. If you've never seen these series, you really are missing out. Like, if you've never seen these, I need to tag one. I think I tagged one in my page. First off, shout out to our girl, Jamaica Lachey. Also, she is here. Hey. Man, listen. Like, if you've never experienced these shows, so think soap operas, like the bad acting that soap operas have, mix that with the bad acting that, for some of y'all nasty mugs, y'all know what y'all be watching. Think of the bad acting that's on there, mix with the bad acting on soap opera, and then make it 10 times worse than that. And that's how bad the acting is. Like, and the acting is still worse than that. Like, this... It's so bad. But for some reason, like JR said, you cannot look away. Like Keith said, Tubi acting. Tubi acting gets an Academy Award compared to this stuff. I'm telling you. Tubi gets an Academy. If it was this, like what I'm talking about versus Tubi definitely gets the Academy Award. I'm telling you, like, the acting is so bad. But for whatever reason, Brody Cat said, don't talk about her soaps. They got some good actors and actresses. I mean, some of them, some people become like, stars, and they do. All I'm saying is, if it was like, I don't know, because Denzel started on a soap opera, didn't he? I guess I'm saying if it was soap opera acting versus like Leonardo DiCaprio and in a Martin Scorsese film, obviously, well, I don't know, because Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio notoriously don't have any Oscars, so there's that. But but I mean, there's that comparison, right? Like I'm saying, if you had to make that comparison, the gap that's in between the acting on that is pretty far. If you had to like put the acting of these things that I'm talking about, then the gap between Tubi and that acting is even farther. That's all I'm saying. It's the worst, but I'm hooked, man. I'm locked in. I I come across it's the same exact plot every time. Like, it's literally the exact same plot every time. There's some rich person, and like all of the things is about like all of these gifts that are super expensive. It's this rich person who either came up and he's like the head of some conglomerate. I mean, they get American so bad. They get American stuff so bad. American culture. I don't know what they think of us, but like it's like, this costs billions. You be like, what? Yet they in some little itty bitty place like, this costs millions. The priceless pink diamond, it's estimated to be $300 million. And you're like, what? What you? They be slapping people. Like, I watched one the other day. As y'all can see, I watch these all the time. And let me say real quick, good morning to Tara Jones. She's going to be one of our guests upcoming soon. Let's say good morning to Mama. What's up, Mama? That's Eric's mama, y'all. And speaking of Eric, I just saw him in there as well. And there's John Johnson. There's our guy, John Johnson. Yo! And then there's our guy, Eric Rideout. He's going to be in and out. Maybe today. He might not be on today, but he'll be in and out this week. So we got to also make sure we give love to our mans. Y'all keep him in prayer as we keep all of y'all in prayer. But listen. Okay, there you go, John. Yes, The Awakening. Okay. Y'all remember The Awakening? Chicago people. If you remember The Awakening from Liberty Temple, then, you'll remember just how not great that was. So, there's that. So, oh, look at this. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm going to explain this thing real quick, and I'm pulling Eric on because he's on here. Matter of fact, I'm just going to pull him on. I'm going to pull him on because he's clearly in the middle of doing something. I just looked in the backstage. Y'all can't see the view I'm looking at, but I just looked backstage, and Eric just pops up like with a whole warehouse behind him, just like in the camera light. Hold on, let's bring Eric up real quick because I got to talk to him about these shows. Why I'm so sleepy today. Y'all give it up for E. I
did like The Awakening. I ain't gonna lie.
The Awakening touched the nerve, huh?
No, I was a fan of Marquita.
Oh, well, I guess all the dudes was fans of Marquita. That's true.
She was killing them back in the day, right? But for the 90s, she was that bad chick back in the 90s.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever got caught up in the series? I'm talking about all these little mini series on Flix Reels and Real Short and Drama Box.
Last night.
Dude, I was
guy called the King of CEOs.
I watched that one. That's the one I was talking about. There was the way he slapped her around. The King of CEOs. Like,
wait, was it the white people? Was it the white people or the Asian people? Mine is the white.
This is the white people one, yes.
The acting is worse. The acting is way worse.
Horrible. I be wanting to say, like who? Like, did y'all tell the director, like, this is not how things go in America? They were like, no, he's the richest man in America.
And dude, it's the worst. The acting is bad, and then the way they draw it out. They just keep saying the same thing over and over. I'm the CEO, and I'm going to do this. And then the next person goes, he's the CEO. You're locked back to the CEO. I'm like, man, well, y'all get to the point.
You know what it is, though? I be waiting on the big reveal. That's what I be waiting on. After the family that treated them so bad. I live for the reveal, man.
But that makes me mad, though, because they take too long to get to it. Or the person, I be like, defend yourself. And they just be like, when you'll see, soon see. I'm like, say something. I be getting mad at that. And see, for all of you that don't know what I do for work, outside of the music, Eric, I don't like the filter you're using.
Keys. He said, man, why y'all got a long history of
Keys.
Oh man, John wants to know why you're in Home Depot. He wants to know why you're in the Home Depot.
Well, the reason I'm at I'm about to call it Depot. The reason is because of my job. Outside of my regular job in music, I run HR. So I run 8 states for them. So I'm here watching the new hires work and not work. Let me step outside. I'm watching new hires work and making sure they're on point, they're doing what they should do. So I don't know if I'm going to write them up or if they're going to be sent back home.
The boss man.
See, I got my
tablet.
Off the tablet, and I literally walk around and look at their work. and I tell them, you trash. I told them, you trash. Go ahead and go home, or go to the van, or go to the break room for the rest of the day. So I got like 30 people per unit, per store I go to.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. So Eric is out here bossing the folks around, y'all. Y'all give it up.
Yeah.
Eric is
Do
the
that
boss.
for a living, right?
Yeah, bossing people around. You definitely do.
All the time. And so, man, for me, the thing is, like, I have lips look white. No one keeps talking about me. So who watches you to make sure? Nobody. Nobody. Let me tell you, I'm about to go sit in my car now and finish this in a minute. I'm going to jump back on a little bit later. But no, my job, I'm the manager. I'm the district talent manager. So there is nobody I report to. I report to myself. My manager lives 5 hours away. So for me, it's a great job, man. I mean, the company pays for the rental, pays for the hotel, lunch, breakfast, dinner. I got a company credit card. The money is great, easy job. But man, as far as Keys go, everybody who don't know who Keys is, he's this guy we met with LXW. He was homeless. And dude was outside and he was talking. Something was wrong with him. He was talking like he had an English accent when we met him. You know, he sounded like somebody off of Harry Potter when we first met him. He's like, hello, good sir. May I have $1, sir? Can I have a trinket? So I'm like, you know, he was in front of Wendy's, posted up outside in front of Wendy's. So I said, you hungry, man? He's like, you know, and he was just, well, he had on some little raggedy shorts and something, one sock on, one shoe, you know, he had a t-shirt on, it was dirty. And I said, what's your name? He says, I don't really know. They call me Keys. And so I gave him the name Jeremy. I said, all right, your name Jeremy. And so dude he started acting like he was playing, he had like act like he was playing a piano.
This story is amazing. I wish I had like a violin music in the background to go on. I wish I had some violin.
Yeah, because he was sitting there doing like this and making faces. And he kept saying, I can't play outside of F. I can't play outside of F. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, I play the piano. He kept acting like, you know, like he was Ray Charles. And I said, hey, man, it's a church across the street. We got rehearsal. So I got him something to eat. We took him over to the rehearsal. He got in. And the first time he smelled terrible and all that, but we looked past that.
This story is amazing, Keys.
Yeah.
You got to come on so you can confirm this.
I gave him the name, Jeremy, you know. He got on the keys and dude started playing. And now he couldn't play, he only could play in C and F. So Zeke taught him, started teaching him numbers and stuff, and, you know, how to work. We said, you know, a C chord. We told him, you know, C, E, you know, and showed him how to do the number chords and stuff like that. And now look at him. I mean, he's playing in A, C, and F now, you know. So, I mean, God did it for him. God did it for him. I'm proud of him. He married now. He's about to marry Ari. They got, you know, and be a family.
Keys,
you know,
this story is absolutely incredible. Jeremy Keys, this story is incredible.
Keys, man. Look him up on Facebook. He came a long way.
Yeah, Keys, we got to get you on here. What's your next week looking like? Because we have to confirm this. This story, absolutely. You can even come on today and confirm it if you want to.
Or he can come on. Now, when he come on, people, I mean, you know, don't judge him. This eye look this way and this one looks straight. But he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Now, all right, everybody, just for the record, I'm just kidding. Dude is amazing. He can play the keys. He's a good father, hardworking man. I'm just kidding. None of that happened, but he was homeless. But all the rest of it, I made up.
JR said it's just like one of those reels we've been talking about. It's just that literally is how the plot lines to those reels be. They be so bad. So I saw one the other day where it was like the daughter and the stepmother it was like a little girl, like a little itty bitty girl. Like she had to be 4. Like she came to live with her, and the stepmom pushed her down, and like she went rolling. It was like a doll that went rolling down the stairs, and she was like, "Oh no!" And when she hit the ground, she was like, "Oh, the pain!" Huh?
They're on the same page. Them and Tubi running neck and neck.
Yeah. Well, Tubi is a little better, I think. Tubi's got the edge. I don't know. Like
Tubi get me when the characters change in the middle of the movie and stuff. You never seen that?
Oh yeah, of course. People clip them all the time. Yeah.
I watched this guy in the hospital. He had fainted. Dude had an afro, just like this on the ground. When lady karate kicked him, he had full rolls to the back. And the light skin. Other guy was dark skin with a goatee. This dude was light. Like, man, they don't even give era. They don't give care to character.
No development, no character, like no continuity. There's no continuity between, this scene and that scene. You could be completely wearing a white shirt when you was talking to your mama to switch to another angle. Now you got on a blue shirt. Like, nigga, when did you change?
Oh yeah, or the next shirt, tank top,
right,
and the top hat. Like, where'd that come from? It knows this.
Hey, that's how these movies be. Like these little reels. Yeah, that has become my guilty pleasure, man. That has become my guilty pleasure. I was up all morning.
I'm in Michigan, so I can wait to get back to the hotel because I'm along right back in. That story, I got right to the end of the reveal when Mr. What's the man name? Was Robert? What's his name? Douglas. Mr. Douglas that came in the room.
Oh yeah, they always do the.
Dad, he was expecting. He's like smacked him, and the way he slapped him way up down.
They're like, oh no, I'm so sorry, Mr. King of CEOs, please. Like, what is the King of CEOs?
And the dude looks so arrogant. The king, they are so bad that they are exactly John.
Like literally, they're so bad that they're good. They're so bad that they hook you. It's phenomenal. It is a phenomenal piece of art when you think about it.
The creativity level is low as ever, but. Because think about this. It's the same script, the same plot. Every single one is the same.
Every single time. You know exactly what's going to happen. And for some reason, I just have to see the reveal. Like, I just have to know what happens. I got to see who's going to get slapped 12 times. Like,
the banquet, big banquet festival. All of them brown dressy, and they march in like an army. I know they just randomly hit people, like you said, the security people.
They were like, break their legs. Security, break their legs. They lied to the king. You're like, what?
Hey, everybody. I want to tune in. Man, I appreciate y'all joining us every day. Zeke is so true. Because I just saw one of the employees walk by real fast in the corner. So I'm going to bust him out. He smelled like marijuana anyway. So,
well.
Yeah, he's
going to have a good day.
Oh, he's going to.
Oh,
actually.
Well, there you go. You're right.
Normally, I'll say go sit in the break room. But for you, fella, go on ahead to the van. Just turn it on. Just sitting there for the next 5 hours.
Yeah, that sounds like a good day for him. Look.
Yeah,
sounds like a good day for him.
Man, I will in with y'all later, everybody.
All right, y'all give it up for E. They say you out there in the sun. That was Brony Cat. She said, look at you out there in the sun.
I hate the sun, too. Chocolate.
What?
I'm like Michael Jackson. I have an umbrella in the sun. I hate it. Ash, I will see y'all later, man.
All right, E. Y'all give it up for E. Ride out one good time for the one time. And then I tell you what, let's do this real quick because I just want to hear this song. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about, John said he's getting fired on his day off. We're going to hit one song real quick, and then we are going to come back and have some really cool conversation. But before we do that, make sure y'all listen to my girl, Jamaica Lachey, because we love this song. The song, Say Less.
I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. 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 And that's a way to the promise.
Stuck in the lines, they tell when you cry. Complaining and waving all over his eyes. Silver and gold, have I not better serve you this knowledge is straight out the pot? Yeah, you should be thankful for what he's done. Praising his name, you already won. Second to no man, get with the program. God is the source for your overcome. Yeah, my Lord is the source for your overcome. Yeah, with Christ the source shall overcome. Yeah. Stop the talking, start the walking. Who knew silence was a weapon? Still holding on, but I'm praying more. God is no fable, he raised the score. Circle, smaller lessons learned. Source is the way I further this journey. Please give me your attention, they just listen, he's the truth. The only one who knows and recognizes the real you. So if you feel me, if you with me, if this resonate with you, stop the playing, no more gaming. Have some work and see you
more to the promise.
Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'ma need you to say less. Pray more. I'ma need you to say less. Pray more.
Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Y'all, this song is a bop.
Oh yeah.
I love this.
And if you feel me, if you with me, oh yeah.
Hold on, wait, hang on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. One more time, if you feel me, oh yeah.
I put the shoulder in it, shoulder.
Oh yeah.
I'ma need you to say less.
Y'all make sure y'all put some hearts in there.
I'ma need you to
Put
say
some hearts in there for our girl, Jamaica Lachey. Woo. Y'all put some hearts in there for our girl, Jamaica Lachey. I'm telling y'all, that is a bop. I love that song. She said, I'm gonna need you to say less and pray more. Say less, pray more. Say less, pray more. I just love it. I love the idea of that. I'm gonna need you to say less, pray more. You know how we say it colloquially, you know, when you say less, that means like, you know, you don't have so much to worry about. Don't worry about it no more. Say less, pray more. Put your trust in God. Listen, y'all, we are excited because today is, like I said, well, first off, it is Tuesday, March 25th, and this week we are dealing with trauma awareness and healing and all of that stuff, mental health. We want to make sure. Oh, wait, look at this. Hold on. Before I go into that, Rhonda says she loves that song, played it for her friends yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Lockstar/Rockstar. See what I did there, Rhonda? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, man. We want to make sure that when we're sharing people's stuff, y'all, it's like a little community here. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like y'all are my community, my little tribe, my family. I see y'all every morning at this point. So now it's like, you know, waking up, having my coffee with y'all, even after I stayed up all night watching the God worst awful acting in the world. Like, you know, but I love that there's a support system that happens in here. And again, this is what we're dealing with this week. Mental health, trauma awareness, ways to get involved in your community to help in the healing of that. I really honestly believe this. I do believe that strong families, look at that right there. I do believe that strong families do create safer communities. I do believe that when we're well within ourselves, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I believe that when we're in tune with ourselves, we can create stronger families. Like we're able to now have something to bring to the table at a better light. And so when we are able to do that, then we end up with stronger families. Those stronger families, you know, they help to create safer communities, safer. And when I say communities, I don't just mean like your neighborhood that you live in, but communities such as this right here, the Lockstars. Every morning we're on together, you know, and I believe we got a bunch of people who are getting in tune with themselves, learning to deal with stuff. And that's why we are dedicating this week to that stuff, to mental health, trauma awareness, ways to advocate for community. That's what we're doing this week. So I do have on today my mama. She's coming on, but before I let's see here. Let me go find her thing here. Let's see where it's at. There it is. Let me put this up here real quick. Check this out. Yeah. Excuse me. As I'm coughing over coffee. Don't choke on my coffee, Zeke. Miss your intro. So this weekend on Saturday, we have what is being called SAFE, as in Secure Atmosphere for Family Effectiveness. Again, this is part 2 of something that we did last October. This was last October at APC Morgan Park, 114th and Vincennes. Please, pretty please feel free to come out to that event. Now, space is limited. We got the section worked out and all that stuff like that, but space is limited. Like we're capping it off at a certain number. Like we have to cap it off. But more on that event, because we may actually do something else with that. I won't announce it right now, but for In the Space, In the Room, again, that is this Saturday, March 29th. There are a few slots left in there, but it is a limited seating event. And I want to see a few lock stars in there. You know, I want to see y'all in there. Bro, you already know, like, every morning I get on here and say, I'm going to send you this. Let me send it to you right now. Matter of fact, there we go. So, but you already know my mama hit you up. I already know what that is. So, absolutely. But make sure you want to come out to that. Again, we're talking and discussing about, the whole self, healing in the whole self. We're looking at all of that. We're making sure that we're dealing with that, but not only so that we can be self for the good of self, but for the good of our families. Some of us need some real family healing. I'm just gonna put myself on the line and tell y'all straight up. I told y'all this week for these first 2 days I was gonna be vulnerable. I got family issues. We got family stuff that we dealing with. Like, there you go, Brody Cat. Yeah. Bet. We'll make sure you get there. Yeah. And let me say this real quick, too. Shout out to JC on Keys over on Instagram side. That's my cousin. And I see Mama is over there as well. Marcella Jones, the great Marcella Jones. We got to definitely give her a great big shout out. The great radio host. Shout out to her. Y'all check this out. Yeah, there we go. Jamaica Lachey, come on through. Come on through. Yeah. Yeah. Bring Red, bring Judah, bring everybody. Like I said, I'll save some. If I know, but you got to hit me up. Make sure you hit me up at this right here. Or if you know me and you got my number, just let me know. And I'll send you the form so that I can get you. That's what I need to do is get you the form so that you can get signed up on it. So that slot is reserved off. But I'll make a note. Luckily, I got the ability to control that. So I'll make a note of it. But we do want to be mindful of the cap that we're making for this particular event due to the nature of it. It's meant to be intimate. And the intimacy of this session is really talking about families. It's talking about self. And so my mother and I, we were talking yesterday, just kind of plotting it out a bit, how Saturday will go. And really, I told her, I said, I'm just going to give you the day. I'm just going to let you talk. I'm going to give you the day and let you do your thing. And so, I'll introduce who we are as a community healing resource center and all that. I'll introduce that stuff. And then from there, you just take it. Look at bro. Bro, you talking about I'm sitting in the back. Ain't no back for this particular event. It's a big open thing. See, I got you. No, but real talk. We were talking yesterday and we were just kind of talking through. My cousin said, look at me with all the sound effects and edits. But we were talking through, what that day will be. And as she got to talking about it, I said, I really don't want this to turn into me interviewing you. I don't want it to turn into, excuse me, where I'm doing like this interview and people are, just watching us have a conversation. We can do that on my morning show. We can do that on Tuesday night. Remind me to make that announcement. So, we've got some other times where we can have that kind of engaging conversation in that way. But Saturday is specifically meant to be able for the person that's there to engage back and forth with a perspective from a licensed clinical perspective. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but that's what I'm gonna call it, from a licensed clinical perspective, because one of the things we're advocating and pushing this week is, even though I say, say less, pray more, even though I say that, I also say, but then when you pray and God gives you some people in your pathway who can help you out in your journey, right? Like you use that. And so, one of the things we're advocating for this week is busting down the stigma of getting counseling. There's a really bad stigma in not only the Black community, not only the African American community, but also in the church community, and especially then in the Black church community. There's a stigma, but it's so cool to see now that that stigma is really being broken down. It's really cool to see that stigma is being broken down. People are talking more openly about therapy. There was a time where, you don't want to go see some shrink, or you don't want to, that was the time where that was the case. But, I'm grateful that we are, getting past that. We're getting beyond that. And so that's what we're advocating for this week. I'm curious to know though, how many of y'all have really ever done any kinds of counseling or ever talked to a counselor, or maybe you've never talked to a counselor and you were one who's been caught up with the quote unquote stigma of counseling. I'm curious to know because and the reason I'm curious to know that is because I guess I'll say it like this, right? I think with generations, this is why I'm kind of curious to know. With different generations, it seems to be a different approach. The hardest generation to really kind of get to when it comes to counseling and all that stuff, it seems like the hardest generation to get in touch with on that level is the what just happened to the music? The music just went away. There we go. Seems like the hardest generation to get in touch with is older generations. And by older, I mean like 55 and up. Like it seems like they're not really as open to it. The stigma seems to be the strongest in that population. This is just what I'm noticing. Again, this is very anecdotal. I don't have any data to back this up. There's nothing empirical that I have to back this up. But it's just in the conversations and things I have, it seems like that age group of about 50 and up, 55 and up, it seems like you got to do a little bit more conversation with them about, seeking counseling. Millennials seem like we kind of just on the edge one way or the other, but leaning more towards it. Gen Z folks, I don't talk to very much Gen A, but Gen Z, like young 20s and 30s, man, they it's like it's normal for them. It's very open. It's very much part of the conversation. So it seems like we're trending that direction. Let me see this one right here, and we could definitely bring this up. When my dad died, I did grief counseling for a bit. Yeah, you see, and Rhonda, you're about 36. 5, 4, 3, somewhere in your 30s. So, but look at that. 30 years ago, somebody would have said, just, go to the church and just pray it off, So, and that's what we're trying to fight against. We're trying to get people to see that, yeah, do both. It's a yes and for me. Look at this right here. Let's see, Brony Cat. My son is seeing a therapist now. I remember the question I posed back when you did the conversation at APC. I don't remember the question, but I'm glad you... thanks, Rhonda, 37. Yeah, see, so I made you so much younger than you actually are. You're so youthful. I love it. Yeah, it seems like younger generations, like you said, Brony, your son seeking counseling, is taking counseling now. So, there's our girl, Brenda Rose. What's up, Lockstar? Good morning to you. It seems like the younger generation is definitely trending in the direction of it's okay to seek counseling. But here's the thing I really kind of want to advocate for today, because we get into this conversation so much on this show. And look, Bronya's son, he's 31. So you see that, Rhonda 37, your son 31. So in that 30s range, that 20s and 30s, it's just like normal part of the conversation. People in the 40s are yeah, I'm cool with it. I'll take it. They're open to the conversation. They'll even go as far as doing it. But it's like 50 and up. They're the hardest group to get, especially the older they are. And it just shows how the stigma has been there for so long. But it also shows how it's going away. But I'm also advocating, because we get into this conversation so much on this show, because we all church kids. Us that host it, we all church kids. We all go to church, part of the church, active in church, all of that. But have recognized that there's a lot of things that are at our disposal that are more than just maybe what you can find in church. Maybe you need to add something to it. And so what I advocate for people is make sure you get a culturally competent counselor. And so this is another reason we have to bust up the stigmas in our community, because we need more counselors that come from our community. And when I say from our community, I mean from even those little micro communities. We need more African American counselors who just understand what it is when you say, and I went to my mama's house, she messed up the macaroni. I knew something had to be wrong because my mama messed up the macaroni. Now in the black community, that means something. Like, that might not mean something to somebody else, you know, and so they may not really understand. They may think you overreacted, but you going, no, one thing my mama don't mess up is the macaroni. This might be a dumb example, but I think y'all get the point of it, you know. But then there's even more micro communities. What about for those of us who are, again, from the church world, from a Christian perspective, like who might walk into a counselor and say, I know I heard the voice of God tell me to do X, Y, Z. Now, somebody who doesn't understand that, when you say, I heard the voice of God tell me I need to do X, Y, Z, somebody who doesn't understand that language or doesn't have that cultural competency might get you down the road of thinking you hearing voices or you doing whatever, you know, because they just don't understand what it means when you say, I feel like God is leading me to do, or I've heard the voice of God say, and so, you see what I'm saying? So there's the prayer aspect that happens, but then when you get in the midst of the God answering the prayers, let's call it that, the midst of God answering all the prayers, right? Like you felt like the Lord told you to, I don't know, I use myself. You felt like the Lord called you to start a podcast or a live cast right and early in the morning. And then, you know, it gets, let's say 4 months down the line and it's stressful and burning out and ready to crash out. I'm ready to do all of that. What happens, like, when I go then and see a counselor and I say, I feel like God led me to do this and da-da-da, and the counselor then tells me, well, maybe you were just hearing voices, and so you've put more stress on yourself than you needed to. No, someone who is culturally competent will understand, not only from the African-American perspective that I have, but also from the Christian or the that perspective. Like, you need to find it. So we need the conversation broken up. We need the conversation, like, to be like the stigma, should I say, the stigma around the conversation broken up, so that we have more people who not only go and seek counseling, but more people who get into the field, right? More people who get into the field, or like Brenda Rose said here. I just saw that come across there. Like, they start to apply medications you don't even need because you expressing yourself. You say, I got caught up in church the other day. I got lost in it. Like, if you come from a charismatic or a Pentecostal tradition or apostolic, one of them holiness churches, you know, church is a different type of experience for you. So when you go there and you know, and you say, I felt like I was caught up in the third heaven. I was shouting and speaking in tongues and doing it. And they say, oh, that was just an ecstatic reaction to it. You know, you need someone who understands the language. Things really do get lost in translation. As somebody who travels the world, I can tell you without a shadow of doubt, things get lost in translation. And, you know, these different languages that we speak, that we take advantage of, that we take for granted, you need somebody who speaks that language with you so you can really get to the healing that you need from that service. Otherwise, you know, it just becomes a bust. So we need more folks that's in that space. Let's check this out. This is Eric's mom, y'all. This is mama right here. Y'all make sure y'all give some love to her. Y'all heart and like her comment, because she is the mother of our co-host, Eric Rideout, who is at Home Depot right now telling people they're trash. So, so there's that. But she said she saw a counselor for the first time last year when she had to deal with the person with a certain medical condition. She didn't understand. It really helped me, even at my young age of 76. Come on. So if y'all see mommy, listen, if y'all see her 76, like, if I want to be like that when I grow up, like, for real. But yeah, so you look at that. I was 76 years old, first time seeing a counselor, right? I mean, and now, again, that seems like that is trending, you know, a little bit more towards counseling. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Oh, let's see here. Our girl Tiffany Michelle is here. She says that, let's see real quick. Me and my guy went to Kennedy House of Pancakes yesterday, and oh my, I told you, it's one of the best restaurants. It is the best diner. We need to have something there. Listen, y'all, we got people backstage. We got our girl Rhonda on the rocks. I'm going to bring her up in a minute. But I think I'll play another song. I see B. Rich is here, so he's going to be on here. And at 9 o'clock, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. My mama is coming. We got all kind of people on the show today. Matter of fact, let me just finish that thought out, though, because we've been talking about the counseling thing. So this thing with my mother, it's turned into a 5-part conversation. We got to planning what Saturday would be. And then I just asked her, I was like, Mama, you mind waking up like super early? So my mom lives in Las Vegas. So, Mom, you mind waking up super early in the morning and jumping on at 8 o'clock? Absolutely not. I will not. I'll get on at 7 o'clock though. Bet. Perfect. So 7 her time, 9 o'clock our time. She's gonna jump on, and we'll kind of begin to start the conversation that leads up to Saturday. So she'll be on today. She'll be back on Friday. And it's really cool because I get to see like my girl on both of those days, and I get to see my mom on both of those days. So y'all get some great perspective on 2 days. So that is awesome. Let's see here. And then what else are you going to see here? Tonight, that's the other announcement. Tonight, check us out. I'm taking over TNT Live from APC Morgan Park. I'll get a I'll find a graphic somewhere. Nobody sent me anything, so I'll just have to find one and try to throw it up on the screen. Or at the very least, we'll get it typed into the comments. I just got to figure out where it's at. But it's on YouTube. If you look up APC Morgan Park, tune in tonight. The conversation that we'll have this morning, we're going to pick up on it tonight on live as well. So that will also be live. So we're just going to be on live all day on YouTube and all this stuff. So apparently I'm just going to be running my mouth. I need to drink all kinds of coffee. Now that I think about it, I should not have got up and watched that stupid drama series. I should not have done that. Yeah. All right. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens by this weekend. So anyways, that's going on. And then, like I said, on Friday, she'll be back on live. And then on Saturday, that's the in-person that we'll have, where you have a chance to interact and all of that kind of stuff. And then, I might as well, while we're at it, invite you to church on Sunday because she'll be preaching to close out Women's History Month. We've had women preachers all month showing that black women can not only preach because they just can tell you the Lord is good, but they got some content inside of them. They're smart, they're brilliant, and they know what they're talking about, and they can deliver it with conviction, with power, and with authority. And so my mother is closing that out over at APC. So that creates a 5-part conversation, if you will, around getting not only to know yourself, in tune with yourself, but how to now apply that to having stronger families. How do you apply that to having stronger and safer communities? How do you apply that to being like, this is what we're talking about. And a lot of this is stuff that people probably already know. You probably have never not heard this stuff before, but at the same token, it's good to have it always come back with fresh perspective, with fresh looks. Let's all real quick say what's up to Mama over on the Instagram. We got so many mamas over here. I love it. We got all the mamas in the Lockstar family. Mama is over on Instagram. Y'all know she watches us from over there. So she asked me to tell all of y'all, good morning, family. And yes, Mama, I will get a link. We'll get a link, or at the very least, a graphic for where you can find that. Or should I say, at the very least, I'll type it in the thing. I just need to make sure I have APC Morgan Park's actual YouTube page, because that's where you'll be able to find it. And that is for tonight at 7:30 p.m. So we own at 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. All right, y'all. We're going to play one more song. And when we come back, we coming back with Rhonda on the rocks. Rhonda, Rhonda, Rhonda. This is my boy Jeremy. It Sounds the Kingdom with Not Ashamed. Y'all know this is my bop, so I gotta play it. I gotta play it.
Yo, this is a message to all believers. We're not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yo, listen. Living in a time where evil staring in your face. Yeah. Problem situations, tragedies are commonplace. Persecution running rampant, it makes you wanna lose your faith. Yeah. But please don't be discouraged. Just remember He's the way. Yeah. Let your light shine. Gave His Son, so the world, it's in Him who should believe. Everybody shout! Even from the mountain, even in the valley low. I'm not ashamed. Can't keep it a secret. Gotta let the whole world know. Listen, I get so excited at the mention of His name. Yeah. Said there's no way that I can hide it. It's written all over my face. So tell me who else would love me after all the wrong kings and the Lord of lords. Say tell it, say tell it. Prince of Peace, ruler of everything. Said no more weeping, no more crying. Said it gave me the victory. I'll tell the world. This joy I have, the world didn't give it. This joy I have, so the world can't take it away. Say tell it, say tell it. If the Lord's been good to you, you gotta lift your hands, you gotta lift your voice. Tell the world how He brought you through. Say that I'm not ashamed. Jump, jump, jump up, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 jump up and get down. Yeah. Tell somebody, tell everybody, we're not ashamed. We out.
I know y'all rock it. I know y'all rock it. I already know. Hey, y'all listen. If you ain't jamming on that, then dude, I'm telling y'all, anything that feels like that as a song, like I be bumping that song in my car. Jeremy, like y'all, my God, y'all did your thing on that. You made me want to just give up music, man. Like I need to give up music, man, because it's so good. That Sounds the Kingdom. Jeremy Sanders was our guest this time last week. And so y'all please go follow them. Check that out anywhere. And the earlier song was Jamaica Lachey, Say Less. That's a bop, man. Listen, I've been playing those songs because I love those songs. And I think they're bops and they're my friends. And that's what we do over here. We play our friends. Speaking of playing our friends, we got to play Jamaica Lachey real quick. Because we got somebody coming to the stage. You know how we got to bring her up the right way. I need y'all to do me a favor. Do me a favor and welcome our girl, Rhonda on the rocks. Hey, there you go. Y'all give it up for Rhonda on the rocks.
Good morning.
There it is.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How you doing?
Oh my God, I'm doing great. I am tired. This is spring break this week.
Oh.
I love that, but I decided yesterday that I was going to host a brunch for some of my good friends for spring break. And so I was up really early preparing for that yesterday, and I'm up really early today because I had to be on the Zeke Live morning show. Your girl is struggling. There was quite a few mimosas yesterday, and
yay, mental health. Yeah.
Water in my very own Rockstar glass.
Nice.
Hydrate.
Where can the people get that Rockstar glass? Can they get that Rockstar glass or not?
Yes, they can. I will, when I get back in the comments after I get off of here, I will put the link in the comment. I don't know why my camera's doing that.
Like it keeps on. That's because you got one of them good fancy cameras. It looks good when it's clear, girl. You stepping up.
I don't know why.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's the back camera of my phone.
Oh, that's why it might be a distance thing. Then it might be too close.
Yeah. Look, let me move back. Definitely right directly in my face.
It looks so clean though. These cameras are amazing these days, right?
Yeah. Hold on, Zeke. I might just take this off because if people can't see me clearly, they're gonna. Hold on.
Do your thing. All good.
Nope. I don't want to keep using this. Nope.
Y'all see me on the reel over here. All good. Do your thing. Yeah. So, y'all, we got Rhonda here today. Let me put on some background music. And just so y'all know, that Rhonda on the Rocks theme song, hold on, I'm going to play another little piece of that real quick. I'm going to play another piece of the theme song so y'all can hear it. So y'all can hear the amazing talent that's here in the Lockstar family. Wow. Let me play just a little piece of that again. Oh, how do I rewind it? Oh, I can't rewind it on here. That sucks. I don't know what happened. Like, it just started like at the end of the song. Like, listen.
You are now tuned
We'll still hear our girl.
Rhonda on the rocks.
That's our girl Jamaica Lachey who did that theme song, and I brag on it all the time because I had a chance to help out a little bit. So,
yes. Love it.
So
okay,
welcome, girl. Happy Tuesday. We good now. We good.
Happy Tuesday. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, recurring guest on this amazing show.
Yay!
I love it. It's a good time.
Well, you know we love you over here.
Yeah, I love that we're talking about mental health this week, and I love especially because I feel like sometimes mental health can be like a buzzword, right? Like people say, like, "Oh, are you in therapy?" Like, sometimes people use it like a microaggression, even. So I think that it's so important that we're having this conversation amongst our community, because I do feel like it's very, like you said, can be negative. People see it as negative, especially like I grew up in church as well. And so it was just go to the Lord, everything to God in prayer. Cast your care on Him. Like, yes, but I'm also losing my mind. So like if I church until Sunday, today's Tuesday. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
In the meantime? So I'm really glad that this conversation is happening, and it's not just one day, it's all week, all the way through Sunday, you said, because your mom will be here.
Yeah, all the way through Sunday, literally. Like, because we got, of course, Saturday, we got that event, and then on Sunday she's preaching. So I mean, and I'm gonna even say I'm probably gonna extend it into Monday because my dad is coming with my mom, and so this actually has shocked it at me because he done become an old man and he don't like traveling. So he's getting on a plane coming from Las Vegas to come here. So Monday I think I'm gonna have him on because they're staying at my house. So I think we'll just continue that from like for the men who need to hear something, because it's really the hardest part of the conversation ain't even the women, it's the men. Really, we hard at it. We don't go to the doctor, we don't go to the therapist, we don't go ask for directions, we don't ask for it's real, and
I think even I'm not trying to say how to run your show at all.
No.
It should be something that's recurring every month, like every third Wednesday we're gonna talk about
that might be good. You know what? Show. That I'm gonna call that the Holy Ghost. You in the vein. Literally yesterday when I was driving, like I got in my head and I was thinking that same thing. I was thinking weekly almost though. I was gonna call it Wellness Wednesdays. Like, and then like just put a mental health check like out there on Facebook, see how people are doing. Like if nothing else, like just say if you're not doing good, just say that. I'm not doing good today. Like it's fine, If you're doing good, I'm doing great.
You never know like what a person may need. They may not have access to therapy. It may be the only little piece of like a mental health check that a person gets. And so I think that's super important. I was gonna say once a week, but I didn't want to like overdo it because I know you have other things that you're planning. But I do think it should be a staple of your show.
No, you're absolutely correct. Because you just said a key thing right there. You said like some people, they don't have any access to any kind of mental health, services. So they may not, have, it is kind of hard sometimes to get to some therapy services. Yes. Another reason that we need more therapists, more culturally competent therapists, like, BetterHelp, shout out to them and shout out to these different things. But some people want to be right amongst somebody and they want them to be somebody that looks like me, somebody that talks like me, somebody that understands when I say on phone them, I was ready to like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle of a mental health crisis. I don't need to stop for a minute and explain to you what that means so that you can understand the rest of the conversation in case I say it again. Or me just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like some people say that in our culture all the time. If I don't need somebody to go, no, I really don't know what you're saying. Use your words. Like I don't need you to stop me and say something like that. I need you to just understand already that that's just a phrase or an expression in language. So cultural competency is like one of the things that we are lacking in our mental health and our mental health services, And don't add the church layer to that as well, because Don't let a church person come in, because a black church person from a certain tradition might come in there and say, you know, I felt the Spirit of the Lord leading me to do such, you know, and it's a language, and that means something to that person. It don't make them crazy. And if somebody don't understand that, they'll try to prescribe medications and have you thinking you got schizophrenia and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then I think too, so I talked to you like very, very briefly. My dad passed in 2020. So this was like the very, very beginning of the pandemic. This was when they were like, okay, we'll be home for another 2 weeks. And then everyone will go back to work.
Yeah.
It was like very early on.
Sure.
So nobody knew what was happening in the world. And my dad was like literally transitioning. He had been sick for years, but was still able to like do things like take care of himself, still went to church every Sunday. Like he wasn't like down and out, long hospital stays, stuff like that.
Sure.
But towards the end, he just, you know, kind of transitioned. And so it was a lot happening at one time. My dad passed. It was the pandemic. And then I started dating a person seriously. And I was just like, I don't feel right. For the first time ever in my life, I was like, I do not feel right. Like something is going on where I don't think that I was like not wanting to get out of bed, so to speak, but I had lacked motivation. That was the only thing I was willing to do. I was like, get out of bed. Because in my mind, I was like, oh my God, if I don't get out of bed, then I'm depressed and everybody's gonna know. So if I get up and pretend, then everyone will think that I'm okay, even though I know that I'm not okay. When I tell you I didn't do anything, and it was easy to kind of do that because it was the pandemic. So we couldn't really do anything anyway. But like I had stopped getting on the family Zoom calls, kind of stopped engaging with my friends a whole lot. I just kind of went inside myself because I was trying to manage everything on my own. I didn't want to feel grief. I didn't want to feel the feeling of grief because I felt like it was going to overtake me and I was never going to recover. Like I just like, I tried to drink it away. You know that song? That's what I was trying to do. Like drink it away. I was never a weed smoker or anything like that. But during that pandemic, baby, getting down. You hear me? I was breathing. I got on my head. And so
getting down, getting up, getting high.
Getting down. But I was just trying to do anything that I could to kind of not have to deal with and feel the emotions of losing a parent. And I don't know if anyone in the comments has ever lost a parent or someone who's been very, very pivotal in your upbringing. Maybe they weren't your like biological parent, but it could have been an aunt, a grandparent, a cousin that may have been like your big cousin that helped raise you. Those kinds of deaths are different than anything that I've ever experienced. Thank God I still have all my siblings. So I know that is a different type of grief. Losing a spouse, I'm sure, is a different type of grief. And that was hard for me too, because I couldn't understand how my mom was grieving, but she lost her husband, right? I lost my father, but she lost her husband. Yeah. Totally different thing. So we weren't really like seeing eye to eye during that time. It was just like everything was going to hell. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Because you on Zeke Live.
Everything was going downhill, and I was like, okay, let me get some counseling or something, at least talk to somebody. At the time, my job was doing like it's called EMP. I forget what that stands for, but it's like you get three sessions or
oh God, I would have said it if you
employee something.
Oh my God, it's gonna come to me randomly in the middle of the conversation. Yeah, it's gonna come to me randomly.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't even know how to look for a therapist. I don't even know what kind of therapist I want. I don't know if I necessarily want somebody Black. I don't know if I want someone who has a faith-based counseling.
Sure.
I didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to, I Googled it, and I came across this counseling company out here in Indiana, like Samaritan something. I can't think of the full name. And I met this older woman named Barbara.
Oh, an older woman named Barbara. I already know she got you.
The older woman named Barbara. And when I first met her, I was like, I don't really want nobody that's gonna be wagging their finger or whatever. When I tell you, me and Barbara had the best time. Therapy. Truly, just like a woman of God. I knew that she made that very clear. She was not ashamed of it, but she never pushed faith or let's go to God in prayer or anything like that at all, ever.
Sure.
And there's times where I was like, you know what, Barbara, we just need to pause and pray because I'm just getting a little heavy now. So you want to lead us or you want me to do it? She was okay with that. But we talked a lot about the grief that I was feeling. But I will say one regret that I have is that I did not open up to Barbara fully about what I was experiencing in my relationship.
Interesting.
It is so important that if you're going to go to therapy, you need to be all in, right? You can't try to hide parts of your life because you're afraid of judgment, or you're afraid of being too vulnerable or whatever it is, because you can't really get the help that you need if you're sitting there lying to your therapist. And I wasn't lying to her. I just didn't tell her everything.
It's that initial stage where you don't want to you seem cool, Barbara, but I don't really know you like that.
Right. I don't know you, Barbara.
I know.
Jacking, girl. No, you need to know that, Barbara.
Right.
I'm married. Wedlock. I tell her that.
Right. Yeah.
I wish she would have, because I really feel like she would have helped me uncover a lot of the stuff that I knew was happening in this relationship, and I knew that it was wrong, and I knew that it was going to come back to bite me, but I just was not strong enough at that time to have something else essentially taken from me. That's how I felt. I lost my dad. I'm dating this man. I don't want him to leave, because then now I've lost someone else that I love. So it was just, child, I was going through it. 2020 to 2020, probably the middle of 2023 was just
wow.
2022, I'd be like, yes, honey, something, the devil was busy, okay? He was
throw 2022 away. Part of me just because that was my year where it came to a head for me, and it was just throw that year away. But at the same time, it's now I'm on the other side of it, and I'm also man, I learned something about myself in that, not to bring it back to me because I want to bring it back to you, but but I learned something about myself in that, which was that I'm not above going to a place where I want to end it all. With all of the Zeke Lockness that I am, and all of the with all of that, I'm not above getting to such a depressed place that I would want to end it all. Again, I would tell Rich this all the time. That was never supposed to be my story. I ain't that dude. I'm Zeke Lock, baby. I do that. And yet there I am. There I was. And like you said, you get to that point where it's I know something ain't right. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I don't know how it is. I don't even know when it happened. I just know in this moment, some don't feel right. Something feels off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you said, this was not supposed to be my story. Because, and I've talked about this on your show as well, about I was in a relationship that was abusive in every way, all of the boxes. Wow. And this was never supposed to be my, how did I get here? Me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did I get to a place where I'm in my head not between the washer and dryer? How did this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that. I just did not see that. But life comes at you fast. It really does. And it to humble you, because we, like you said, we say like, oh, that's not my life. I'm Rhonda on the rocks. I wasn't Rhonda on the rocks back then, but I'm Rhonda Elise Cohen. Like, I'm that girl. Like, educated, I got my own this, own that. I'm fine as hell. Like, things are great. And then here this comes. But that's why I said, like, I wish that I would have been more open and transparent about that part of my life when I was in therapy, because I feel like she could have given me some tools. Barbara was my girl. Like, she really was. We was like,
shout out to Barbara.
Yes, I really feel like she would have given me some tools, just like she gave me the tools that I needed to deal with the grief that I was experiencing. She could have given me the tools that I needed to kind of like face what I was actually dealing with in this relationship and figure out how I was going to separate. Because at that time, when I was saying Barbara, that was like early on in the relationship. We hadn't really got like super, super deep into the relationship. So maybe it would have been easier for me to like separate and part ways. But, I feel like I know it would have been, because I was like doing the work to deal with the grief that was to stay in that relationship.
Yes.
So I want to encourage you today. I don't want to take up all of the time.
This is good. This is very good.
If you are even thinking about going to therapy, check with HR at your job and see if
Employee Assistance Program.
Yes,
EAP. Yeah, EAP. I would have had it. I used to work at HR. You would think I know these things. Like,
if your job has EAP, take advantage of it. And you don't have to do this. This is the loophole that I found. EAP, you can get those 3 free sessions for different reasons. So like, let's just say you get 3 for grief counseling. You can get 3 for relationship counseling. You can get 3 for something else, depression. You get 3 for anxiety. Like, you can get those 3 sessions for every event or life event that comes up. Take advantage of it. And that's kind of a good way to decide, like, if you actually like this therapist before you start paying.
Right. Yeah.
So you can see that person 3 times and you can decide, okay, I want to keep going. Because that's what happened with Barbara. Like, for some reason, I struck gold. God must have knew that I needed somebody right away. So he was like,
yeah.
So I had my 3 free sessions with Barbara, and then I continued to see her for a few months after that. So I encourage you, please take advantage of it. Even if you work for yourself or you're an entrepreneur, there are ways to get therapy that is at either maybe like on a sliding scale.
Yeah, they've got those things. You can definitely reach out to why don't I have a flyer? I have to make sure to get a flyer for my own program that I work for. I need to have that up there, because we can actually get you to, like, I'm seeing Brony Cat in here. Her job doesn't offer the EAP anymore. So, actually we probably need to have that conversation at Bronya, because we can try to figure something. I don't know, with your job. I don't know, but that's because it's a state thing. And so anyways, we'll have that conversation off camera. But yeah, like, even with like I said, the job that I do, we get people to those resources and things like that. Mental health resources. We have counselors that we can get you, up with, because again, it's this idea of cultural competency, having a culture. Like, you found Miss Barbara, who was not only a Black woman who could like understand where you were coming from there, but like you said, like, it's getting heavy. Can we just pray for a minute? Like, the wrong person might be like, well, I don't really think you should do that, Rhonda, but this is a whole part of who I am. Like, this is what I know. This is what I come from. This is where I find my centering and my base. And you going to suggest to me to throw that out? No. I need somebody who understands that. And you, like you said, you struck gold on that first time. I'm gonna ask you this question. I told you already, if I ever ask any questions that go too far, just be like, nah, I ain't ready to talk about that. Okay. We all understand. We lock stars over here. We all understand. Speaking of lock stars, thank you for that name.
Yeah. Anything I can do to help.
Hey, I love it. See, you officially family now. There we go. But so you mentioned, because I didn't know that, I just found this out, right? You were in a relationship, and he was busting your head and all this stuff like that, all the physical abuse from every angle. Now, I know you, so I'm asking this question from the perspective of, I know you to be one of the absolute most confident self like censored, like not self-centered in a in a bad way, like selfish, but like you're very centered, like you know who you are, you know what you're going after, you know what you want, you don't take no off of nobody, like you just like but also very sweet, very kind, not like out to get nobody, but also I ain't taking no stuff off nobody. I know what I'm trying to achieve. Like you said, you own your own stuff. You bought a house. You started this now. I mean, because it's coming like you're Rhonda on the rocks. You are the Rhonda.
Yeah.
And then, you end up with somebody who is very, like you said, anti who you are in that sense, and is able to kind of pull you away from self to the effect that it affects you so hardcore mentally. I'm wondering, do you think that, and maybe you and Miss Barbara talked about this, but do you think that that had something to do because of the grief situation, that it was able to get to that point, like where you just kind of for a season, if nothing else, for a season accepted it. You know what I mean? That like, this is my life. It ain't supposed to be my life, but this nigga beating my head, but I'm here. Like, how much of the grief do you think really had a part to play in that? And did you come out of that as a result of the counseling? Were you able to get out of that situation?
So when I look back at it now, and I think I came to this realization like sometime in 2024. I think grief had probably 90% to do with why I ended up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was easier to deal with something that was right in my face every single day than to think about my dad not being on this earth anymore. Like, thinking about my father, me never being able to see him again, was way more than I couldn't handle it. So it was like, okay, well, this is right here. Like, I'm just going to go toe to toe with this person. And I just don't have to think about that at all. I was able to just completely, or do my best to try to like remove it. And also, like, the guy that I was dating, we had been friends since I was 18. It was like the familiarity there. Feeling like if me and him separate, then this is a 16, 17 year friendship that I'm also losing.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. I'm not gonna curse on this man's show. I truly could care less about that friendship. But I think what I learned in that too is like, we try to hang on to things thinking that like, if I just hang on to this and never let it go, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
When you are like killing yourself.
Yeah.
So my self-esteem was non-existent. Everything was about like what he said about me and how he felt about me. And it made me question all of the things that you mentioned that I believed about myself prior to that.
Yeah.
I was saying like, well, maybe not. This is my friend that I've known for so long. Like, he's saying it's this, like,
right.
Maybe it's, that. Like, he would, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but like my education was intimidating to him. Like, I have 4 college degrees. So
got degrees. Even my degrees have degrees. Like Kanye West. My degrees have degrees.
So things that I like when I would talk about like my education, when I got a promotion, a pretty substantial promotion during the time that we were together. Like, none of that was celebrated. It was like, oh, you think you're better than everyone. You're arrogant. That's why people don't like you. Because I remember I had said to him one time, I don't even know when, I was like, yeah, I think some people like have a hard time because of how I say things. Like, I'm very direct. I'm very like, I don't want to say cutthroat. I wouldn't use that word, but I'm very direct. And when I'm with my friends, I'm like, listen.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the Rhonda I know, like direct and just don't take no stuff. Cutthroat. That's a good word.
Yeah, but I don't mean any harm. Like, it's not a thing to attack anyone or make anyone feel bad. That's never my goal. But I like to be real with people so that we can grow and go from there. But anyway, so I mentioned that to him, like, yeah, I think, that's why some people like maybe turned off by me because of my directness. And when I tell you that phrase alone, he used every single time. Well, that's why people don't like you. Remember, you said that people don't like you because of your mouth, because of the things that you say. And I was like, hey, like that right there, because I had said it and he brought it up like, oh, you said that before. It made me feel like, dang, people really don't like me. Oh, yeah, like maybe I have hurt so many people. So it was like, well, they don't like you. So, you got me though. Like now you got, so it was very like isolating and all of that stuff. So anyway, said all that to say, thank God for therapy. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God for friends. But I know that therapy, even though I did not talk to my therapist specifically about my relationship, the time that I spent in therapy and the tools that I learned to deal with the grief, which was the root cause of me getting into that relationship, is what helped me when it was time for me to get up out of there. And so, like I said, if you don't have the resources, Zeke, I'm sure is a wealth of resources, or somebody in your community, somebody in your church, a friend. If you know somebody in therapy, ask them, how much a girl charge?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah.
Person charge, call your insurance. You just never know. You never, ever know. They may not blast it, but call your insurance and say like, hey, what would it take for me to get 3 free therapy sessions if my job doesn't necessarily have that program or whatever anymore? Please go to therapy. It's great. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's good because what you're really paying for, and this is what my mom always says, like what you're paying for in therapy really is not only the expertise of somebody who knows how to kind of navigate this situation, because the way you dealing with it may be different than the way I'm dealing with it. Somebody who needs to understand that, 2 different people could deal with something differently. You can't just go in with well, I'm this kind of person, I'm just going to tell you like it is, you know what I mean? Like that, I may be that way, but that may not be the best approach for this person in a therapy session, where to get it out. What you're paying for is not only the expertise, but also the confidentiality. Like I said yesterday, you can lay some real heavy stuff on somebody that you love, AKA, we're going to call him that guy. Like Eric said, nobody wants to be that guy. So we'll call your friend, your ex, that guy. You can lay some stuff on that guy. And then what does that guy do? He takes it and uses it against you every time. Or maybe he goes back to his friends, man. She thinks that that, you know what I mean? Like, and meanwhile, you were just laying something that was on you. Like, hey, I don't think people really rock with me sometimes because I can be very direct, but like it's important for the way I need to move. Like, and you think you pouring that on somebody that you can be confidential with and that you can love, and then they take it and use it against you. Sometimes those things happen. What you're paying for with a therapist is for that not to happen, because you got to get that stuff out of you.
You have to.
You got to. If you don't, it's gonna bubble up, right? Like you're gonna crash out at some point.
And I did it a few times, child. I did it later.
We had to dive into them stories. Woo! Let me see. JC asked the question, do you think therapy is a necessity, or is it simply beneficial towards maintaining mental health? I think that is up to the person, to be honest with you. Like, some people may not be ready to walk into a therapist session. Like Rhonda said, when you first got there, you said you weren't completely revealing to everything that was going on with you. So maybe that was a part of your life you just weren't at that moment ready to dig into, or you just weren't ready to, some people ain't ready to walk into a therapy session. I'm not advocating for just doing something just because it's just a hot thing to do. Like we started this conversation with how it becomes a buzzword. So I'm not advocating for just going to just do something. No, be ready for it. But my advocacy is to know that it's out there and it's okay. Like it's a tool that can be used, and yes, for maintaining your mental health. Like just like I'm not gonna tell you just go to this doctor just because, but I am gonna tell you you need to know that there's doctors out there. So if something happens, you may not be in a season where you need to be in therapy right now, but you have to know absolutely that if you hit that season, that is available. Like there's resources and things that are available, and they really do help. Like like you're saying, it really helped. Yeah.
And you may not see it as a necessity until you try it, right? Like you may not know that you need it. Sometimes we don't know what we need. But that's what I said. I will advocate for EAP all day. Like just go talk, just go see. You know what I'm saying? Just go have a one time when I was a kid, my parents used to do blah, blah, blah. And it really made me feel like this. Say that to someone because you don't know. It may be the reason why you can't never be on time to work, right? It may be the reason why, when you wake up in the morning, you're always angry. We don't know until we try or even maybe mention it to a friend, right? And your friend is like, have you ever talked to somebody about that? Because I'm not a professional, counselor or a licensed counselor, and they can suggest. But I know that isolation is a trick of the enemy. And so when we isolate and we just internalize everything and don't share things, that's how we become sick in our bodies, sick in our spirits, sick in our mind. So I think like as much as you can, maybe it's not a necessity for you right now, right? Like that grief therapy was for that season, right? I probably should go back, but for that season is when I like needed it. Now I just kind of need the maintenance to kind of maintain as other things, other griefs come in my life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really is up to you, but
no, but that's you just hit that right on the head though, man. You just hit that right on the head. Like this, it's the knowing that, like I said, knowing that those resources are there. Because if you don't even know that exists, and that's the other thing, like in our community, again, we don't think there's enough of us. And I will say there's not enough Black counselors, enough Christian counselors, enough Black Christian counselors, if you even compile that. But at the same time, that is, at least since we're starting to have those conversations more, kids are going to college and saying, I think I want to get into, psychology as a field and then go get that master's and become a clinical, like more kids from our community are starting to do that, which is what's helping that. But if we don't even have the conversation, then folks don't even know that's a thing. And, they, again, if you come from a church world, it's just take it to the pastor. Well, pastor, like he focused on one thing, getting the word of the Lord to the people. That's his job. Like, hey, get the word of the Lord to the people. And sometimes you need to like have that and something else. And, you may not need it now, but you need to know it exists,
Yeah. And sometimes our pastors need therapy.
Oh my God, our pastors. I would argue they all need therapy.
Yeah. Because they're taking on a lot. If you bring in all of your problems to them, they got their own problems. And they're responsible. They're the shepherd of the flock. Like, that's a lot. You talking about crashing out? I will close the whole church. Hey, ain't no service.
Listen. And some pastors do. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, and okay, so this, all right, I'm just talking candidly, but I am not going to mention anybody. I'm not going to deny. But I will say this much. A lot more of the pastors that got drinking problems, got to self-medicate with different stuff. A lot of pastors, and they getting up there under the full anointing and power of God, under the power of God. They doing all of that. And when it's all said and done, they got to go pour that cup. They got to go light that up. They got to go and, talk to sister such and such over there because she gonna help to get and some of that ain't just because they dirty scoundrels. Some of that is because they dealing with a bunch of stuff themselves and they doing just like everybody else does. They try to drink it away. I tried to sex it away. Like they try to do that. And if anybody talking to God, it's your pastor, and yet they still need to grieve things or unload things. And everybody needs it. CEOs, just about every CEO out there has a counselor. Just about.
You got a lot of kids. How do you deal with all of that? I'm not a parent. I have a dog, but I will be a parent someday. But today I am not. And I can't imagine, because I work in education, dealing with kids regularly and then coming home to you, baby, you need some therapy. You need some counseling.
Absolutely.
Kids, you need it. Please go get it. It's
Man, Rhonda, it always is a pleasure having you on. I'm telling you what, I know you're on spring break. You got a lot of stuff. You got to go. Do you absolutely have to go?
I do not absolutely have to go.
Because if you want to stay on this conversation with me, Rich, and my mom. My mama just got in backstage.
I just text my mom and tell her I'll be there because I'm supposed to meet her, but I'll be there a little bit later. Come on.
Okay, bet. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play one more song. It's our girl, Jamaica Lachey, again. I got my 3 songs I'm rolling with. And because I love the song I Don't Want It that she got. It's it's in your face. But I love the concept of it. I'll be walking around singing it. That is actually one of my Some songs become like therapy. That's one of those ones. She must have been in the prophecy when she wrote that, because she was, if it don't bring me joy, if it don't bring me love, I don't want it. No becomes the whole word. And so we're going to play Jamaica Lachey, I Don't Want It. And when we come back, we're coming back with Rhonda on the Rocks to be back with us. Yay! With Be Rich and My Mama. Y'all go share and tag everybody you know, because My Mama's coming on as soon as we come off of this break. Y'all give it up. This is, what song did I just say? I Don't Want It. There we go. I was about to play Say Less again. Here we go. I Don't Want It by Jamaica Lachey, our girl.
Stand up, never lay down. Used to see us in the back, we in the front now. They tried, we did. Stepping up, no chill, I'm about to go in. Steady dancing in the clouds, got Abba walking mouse, talking handshake smiles for the big win. Bomos on the reach in, trying to put their bid in, hoping they can slide just a piece in. But this ain't for the weak, for the hearts wanna sleep. Put a guard on your piece, gotta stand in your sleep. Take a breath and be meek, gotta take it from me. No one can do you like you do it. Be fluent in you, that's a movement. Stay focused on you, it's not selfish, it's true. It is only to you that you prove it. If I can't feel no love, I don't want it, yeah. If you can't feel these voids, I don't want it, yeah. If it don't bring me joy, I don't want it, yeah. I don't want it, I don't want it, yeah. People used to talk how me could falling off, now they looking for my corner. Red form on the backtrack, I ain't cutting no slack, it's a new order. Set my team real strong now. Kingdom coming like a song now. Guaranteed on this walk, you won't believe, but his word is the creed, and my faith it goes free. No one can do you like you do it. Be fluent in you, that's a movement. Stay focused on you, it's not selfish, it's true. It is only to you that you prove it. Hey, it is only through him that you prove it. It is only through him that you prove. If I can't feel no love, I don't want it, yeah. If you can't feel these voids, I don't want it, yeah. If it don't bring me joy, I don't want it, yeah. I don't want it, I don't want it, yeah. Entangled entrapments, the pressures of being down. Transcendent traps and dead bodies have shined the clouds. Depression's a trophy for Gen Z, and socials will kill you with envy, fabricating the line through the enemy. My state, it is altered and change has occurred. Intention is heavy on serving this wide. My being has meaning, no love lost, I mean it. I'm good, I believe me, that's you, I don't think. If I can't feel no love, I don't want it, yeah. If you can't feel these voids, I don't want it, yeah. If it don't bring me joy, I don't want it, yeah. I don't want it.
Hey. If I don't feel no love, if I don't feel no love. Hey, that's the jam, y'all. That's the jam right there. Oh my God. Shout out to our girl Jamaica Lachey with that power voice. Man, God, she got the power in her voice. So, y'all, man, that song right there, I love it. I love it. I love what she says in that. I know y'all heard that. If it don't bring me love, if it don't bring me joy, if it can't fill these voids, man, that I'll be walking around singing that to myself. Oh my God, Jamaica, you just reminded me today is March 25th. Oh my God, it is Jamaica's birthday today. March 25th, 2 days after my brother. I forget this every year, and then I get reminded on like the 26th. Y'all do me a huge favor and wish Jamaica Lachey a happy birthday. That's our girl. She is one of the original Lock stars. Y'all wish her an absolute happy birthday on today. She is 49 years old. So y'all, she's going to shoot me in the foot for that. No. No, for real. Y'all wish Jamaica Lachey a happy birthday. We've been playing her all morning. Y'all heard 2 of her songs, and you heard the Rhonda on the Rocks theme song. She was on all 3 of those songs. Matter of fact, if you were listening to the pre-show when we first came on, the song, I played my single, one of my singles, I'm Walking, and she's featured on that as well. Jamaica Lachey been all over the show. She on tour today on Zeke Live in the morning. Y'all do me a favor and wish her a happy birthday. For real, wish her a happy birthday. Give her all the love, all the hearts, all of that stuff like that. And then here's a great birthday gift. A great birthday gift for our girl, Jamaica Lachey. Like, you can go to Spotify or Amazon Music or iTunes or YouTube or Google Play and download her song, play her song a bunch of times, share it with your friends, all of that kind of stuff like that. You can definitely do that, and that will be a great birthday gift. Because y'all might not know this, but when you're like up and coming as an artist or as a podcaster, like our girl Rhonda on the Rocks, or like us over here at Zeke Live in the morning, it ain't so easy to just get up and do this stuff or to go in creating stuff. It's not easy, but one of the best ways you can help out is by sharing. Post something, just share it, man. That's one of the best ways you can do that. So give Jamaica Lachey a gift by going to her page, finding one of her songs or something like that, or going to YouTube and just sharing it on your page and letting other people hear that, because that song has been blessing us over here. So y'all, I got something one more time. Jamaica says thank you to everybody, and she wants y'all to know she is not 40 anything. So she said that like 40 is a bad age. I don't know. Man, but she says thank y'all to everyone. We definitely praise the Lord for her and for her 59 years of life. Jamaica gonna beat me up when she sees me. She gonna beat me up. Y'all, we got some special guests in the room today. We got some real special guests. Before I bring them up, let me just preface it with this one more time. On this Saturday, my mother will be here with us in person, live, and in living color. She'll be with us, so you can scan that QR code if you're able to, if you're watching on your TV or something like that. Or you can follow a link that we'll make later on so that you can get registered for that. I want to see all my Lock stars in the building. It is very limited space for this particular event. So to that effect, you absolutely want to make sure that you get signed up for that, because it's going to be something great. It's an intimate conversation with a licensed clinical counselor around a lot of these things that we're dealing with getting to know yourself and having stronger families and all that good stuff. So y'all do me a favor real quick. I hope y'all are here watching and paying attention and ready to have a good, intriguing convo. I asked my mama to get up super early in the morning, and she did exactly that. She got up very, very early. So I want y'all to help me welcome to the stage these 3 phenomenal people. First off, we got Rich Holmes that's coming to the stage. We got Rhonda on the Rocks. And we got my mama, the Dr. Lisa J. Thompson Dyson. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. Hey.
Hey.
What is up? Hey, mama.
What's up?
What's up?
Way too much fun.
Yeah, we have fun over here in the morning. We are very lit in the morning time over here. We get live. We get it going. We got Lock stars over here, so
Oh, Lock.
Yeah, Lock stars. I got Lock stars, and Rhonda has rock stars.
Okay.
And I'm just here.
What's up? What's up? What's up? So it's very early. You in Las Vegas. What time is it in Las Vegas? It is 7:19, huh? And you are transitioning jobs, so you get to have the week off, and I asked you to wake up early and do this at the last minute. So
Mama's love, I tell you.
Like, I usually don't watch a series on Netflix. I don't have to get involved in the series. I can't watch it. So I go for the movies. However, over the last week, I've been stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. It's been really nice.
Mike, you got a little bit of I won't say feedback, but it's cutting off a little bit. Are you using your headphones? Are you using your?
I don't know what I'm using. I've never used this platform before. How do I get it on the iPad? I can only get it on my phone.
Oh, I don't know. I might have to. Did you open? I sent you the link through your text message, right?
Right.
But did you? Oh, it wouldn't open up the text message on your iPad. Y'all, we're going through the mother son thing. Here we go. This is the mother son conversation where you try to walk your mama through technology. You got to walk your parents through technology at a certain point in life.
Do it, please. I was just getting used to Teams and Outlook and Google Meets and Zoom and all that. And then you're going to introduce this. And I'm like, whoa, wait. Oh, okay.
Mama, look at all these people that are saying hello to you real quick. I want to be sure real quick to say them. There's Aunt Regina. She's saying hey to you. There's Linda all the way from Hopkins Park. She's saying hello. That's Linda. Yeah. Remember Linda Bender? She's married now. That's Linda Lawson now. Yeah,
I would not have known who Lawson was.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's a Bronya right there. That's Brony Cat. That's one of our girls. There's your nephew, JC, Jonathan.
Oh, I know him. Screaming loud, but I can't hear.
There's our friend Sheridan S. Davis. She's an author, and she was one of our guests. Author, poet, business owner, and publisher. Y'all probably need to meet each other since you got books that you're working on. So make sure y'all know each other. Absolutely. There's the birthday girl, Jamaica Lachey, saying hey to you.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of stuff here. I want to throw this one in real quick from Abronia. Fun fact, the year my job honored your mom was the first time they allowed someone who was not partnered with us. So, yeah, you've been honored, and you've got some great honors and all of that. This Eric's mom right here. Yeah, Dickie right out. That's Eric's mom, so she's saying hey to you. Absolutely. So the people love you, Mama. The people love you because I love you. I don't know. The Lock Stars love you. And Mom, now you remember Rhonda, right? Now, because I know it's been years and years since y'all seen it. Do you remember Rhonda, Mom, that one I went to school with?
You know, I can see her. Let me tell you about this thing right here. I'm on my phone. you know, I'm visually challenged at my age.
And I know it just got really small too because I put the four of us on the screen. So
yes, I'm like.
Rhonda, can I tell the part about how you got to Olivet, Rhonda? How you were like the little sister? Can I tell that part?
Yes, you can tell whatever you want. It's your
Mom,
show.
remember Rhonda was. I see you trying to flip the camera and all that. I get it, Mom. I see you. Rhonda, remember, was 16. You were 16 or were you 17 when you came? 16 when she came to Olivet. Remember? So we had youth programs and stuff, and I had Rhonda there doing the thing. So that's Rhonda. That's the Rhonda on the rocks. That's on there.
Oh my goodness! Okay, I didn't make the connection.
Yeah.
Get a chance to see you this weekend.
Yes, I'm going to try my best to come out on Saturday. If not Saturday, then Sunday to the church.
Hey, yeah, Rhonda on the Rocks has been like one of our faithful Lock Stars, and so we faithful rock stars. We cross collab, and this is a 20-something year friendship. And of course, you know Rich Holmes. I mean, obviously you know Rich Holmes.
Exactly. You know him.
Well, let me introduce you to Rich Holmes. I've been friends with Rich Holmes for 20-something. He's been to your house several times. Like he's eaten at your table many times. Like,
It's been a great time.
There's our girl, Miss Ursula. She's a faithful Lock Star. Be on here with us. What's up, Mrs. Ursula Ellen? She'll be on here with us every morning. So, Mom, we've been having. Abronia says to let the people know she's been knowing you since you were since she was So yeah.
So, you know, some people go way back. Like Regina, I don't know when I didn't know Regina. I imagine there was a time when I was born and she wasn't born yet, and I think that was the only time I didn't know her. After that, I have known Regina. Abronia go way back to Greater Mount Sinai, West Side.
West Side. West Side.
We go like teenager way back days. Was it before teenager days, Abronia?
Wow.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so we got like a real family over here in the morning time. Like this morning show is a whole family, man. The Lock Stars. We're a whole family. Speaking of counselors, this is Michael Allen. He's a counselor. He's got I met him down in Dallas at the warehouse with Fred, and so he's from Iowa. Yeah, so he's been on with us before. I probably need to get him on one of these days when we have one of these Wellness Wednesdays, Rhonda.
Okay.
He says
He
said he was between sessions, so I'm imagining he's a therapist.
Yeah, he's a therapist. Yep, a therapist. Yep. He's just a licensed clinical counselor. There we go. You know
what? And I want to encourage him with that. because I got into this field and stayed in this field because I do not believe that people who are believers should have to choose between their mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. I believe it should all be blended, which means we need therapists who are therapists of faith who won't think people are crazy because they say they hear from God. And then we want to put them on a medication because we think they're hearing voices, or they got auditory, or they say they have faith and they're believing for something, and then we say they're delusional because it will never happen. I don't think people should have to be ostracized for that or made to think that they're crazy because they have chosen to be people of faith. So we need therapists and doctors and psychiatrists and other people who can get with that and understand that cultural piece to a person's existence. So I applaud you. And anytime you need me, you got me. You get my information from Zeke, because I'll give you whatever I got.
Hey,
to help you be better at what you do for God's people.
Yeah, and that's kind of the conversation that we got into, which is why I asked you today to jump on, because we were supposed to just have you on tonight with APC's cast, so I got you tonight, and then of course Friday you'll be here, so you're supposed to be on this show on Friday, and then of course there's Saturday during the in-person session, and then Sunday you're preaching. But we got to a conversation yesterday, and I was like, Mom, you just jump on, you can explain what we were talking about a little better, and you just already jumped into it now, actually. So, I want to leave this conversation just for the rest of the next 30 minutes that we have on the show to just let it, just let it go kind of how it goes, and let you just kind of to speak to some stuff that we'll be getting into, of course, this weekend, and all of that. And then Rhonda and Rich, y'all jump in and converse as much as you want to. That's why I asked y'all to be on here as well. So, yeah.
Wait, I'm flipping my phone. Hold on.
All good. And I'm going to throw this up here too. So my Aunt Regina put up there. Okay. Jason and Io have a podcast called God Meets Therapy on YouTube. So yeah. So y'all check that out. That's my cousin Jason. That's
Io is a psychiatrist. Board certified psychiatrist. Amen. Yes to that.
Yeah. And they down in that ATL killing it. Yeah. So, those, like, the conversation is happening more in our communities. And the reason that, we're engaging in these kinds of conversations is like you just said, the cultural competency, maybe years past has been missing, where it maybe didn't make sense for some folks to go to therapy, like who were black, or maybe who were even black church folks. It might not have made sense because all the therapists might have had them going down some other road. Like they had them thinking they were crazier than they were,
I learned when it really first came to light, I was working at Thresholds and I was team leader for an ACT team. And that ACT stood for Assertive Community Treatment. And one of our psychiatrists that we contracted with would come in and meet with us. Our team met daily, and he was there once or twice a week. And someone suggested to him, said, we really need you to do an emergency appointment with someone. We need to get them in because I think that they are starting to have some hallucinations and they just seem delusional. I think their schizophrenia is out of control right now, and we need you to see him. And so he asked some questions. And one of the questions he asked was, the first thing he said was, does this person go to church? And so the worker said, well, yeah. And he said, how often do they go to church? And he said, pretty involved in Bible study, Sunday, and a lot of different things. He said, so this person's faith is very important to them, right? And they said, yes. He said, okay, then let's talk about why you think there's something wrong with her faith. If she says she believes God and she's trusting God for healing, what's wrong with that? If she says she's not going to do certain thing until she prays and gets an answer, he said, what's wrong with that? That's a very integral part of who she is. And we don't need to destroy that or dull it by calling it something that it's not. And that was the first time I'd ever heard a psychiatrist even want to go there. So it led to a huge discussion, and it started me to thinking about why we so quick to rush to judgment. And we got two ends of the spectrum, right? We have two continuums. I'm sorry. I'm trying to adjust this stupid thing.
Good.
You all good? We can say you're good. Yeah.
Even right
Yeah,
here.
okay. And you can see my co-op office. I'm in transition. I'm moving, so everything is torn up. Everything is torn up. But anyway, we have people who don't know any better, who rely so much on spirituality that they don't think about humanity. And then we have so many people who think about humanity that they don't remember spirituality. So we have preachers and teachers and folks in church telling somebody to stop taking that medication. And I'll be looking at some of them like, oh no, we don't want that. Oh no, we want them on that. Because your mind, sometimes the medication, and I'm not a big proponent of medication, only when it's necessary. Yeah. And how can you tell when it's necessary? When you are doing everything you can. You're doing everything right, everything well, and you're still struggling.
Yeah.
Now it might be time to have that discussion.
Yeah.
That's where medication comes in. And it's there to help balance. But if the mind can't catch what's given, then nothing's going to change. And I posted something a few days ago on Facebook. Don't get it twisted. The battle has always been for the mind. And it always will be for the mind. So whatever we can do that helps to get the mind ready to receive what God has for us in the spirit, and give us a way to interpret it in a way that is healthy. That's where we need to be focused. I get upset when people say, stop taking that medication. No, how about you talk to your doctor about reducing it? Is it time? You know, what is this dosage? Maybe the dosage is too high, too low. Maybe it's too frequent. You know, there are a number of different ways you can manipulate a medication. And then sometimes it might just be something in a person's life they need to do. But then we have on the opposite end, we have doctors and therapists that are saying, oh no, don't believe what they say. Don't like, what? Do you even know the word? If the word is my foundation, I'm going with the word. Right. So I need something in somebody that's going to line up with it. Yeah. So that, that's just that's my passion. And there are ways that we can blend and do those things and make it make sense. Yeah. I've been toying around with this this thing I just say mess. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. And if we don't manage it effectively, we will not live in victory, and our lives will be a mess. Is what will happen.
You have to manage your mess, or it'll be a mess.
That's it. That's it. Hey, there you go.
Manage your mess, be a mess.
Manage your mess or be a mess, but everything's gonna be. You got a mess on some level, so you got to either manage it.
Right. But so dealing with church folk, can we talk about church folk for a minute?
We talk about church folks all the time over here.
Because these are they.
Come on.
When they say and they, I'm like, who is the they? What do that they look like? The theys are, we've been so traumatized in church. First, it's a wonder a pastor's kid or a preacher's kid is saved at all. That's first thing.
Listen, you're talking to three of them right now, like.
Because we have been so mistreated. We have seen our parents go through. We've seen them sacrifice and give up stuff that should have been ours to people who later talk about them, mistreat them. They love them one minute and then tell them holler crucify them the next. You know it. So it's a wonder we saved it all. Church folk. So all of us. I'm saying that to say all of us have had church hurt, but some of us have stayed. We've learned how to manage it and dig deeper into what our relationship is with God and who we are in Him, than to let something run us away. And that's why we still in it, and that's why we carry it on, because of that relationship. But everybody in a pew has had some church hurt. It's not even possible for you to be in the church and not be hurt. One, we come in with our expectations are too high. We expect perfection.
Yeah.
We expect perfection of those who feed us, and so when you expect perfection from somebody who feeds you, then eventually you're going to start expecting perfection from yourself. Right. And if you don't meet that level of expectation, you call it failure. But it's not. Let's reframe it. It ain't failure. It's growth.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, What you talking about faith? You a woman of God. No, you're not. You just got into church. If I don't look, we call girls young ladies when they too.
Yeah.
They haven't grown
Come
fully.
on.
They've not developed fully into who they're going to be.
Absolutely.
But we know by the nature of progression and growth that that's what they will be.
Yeah.
There's something in their bodies that's going to turn on, and that's who they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to train them and help them so that as they progress, and we don't even have to you don't have to tell a tooth to fall out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to do it because there's another one coming. That'll preach right there. I need to write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write it down, somebody. Because there's another one coming. And when we build those expectations so high, we forget that there's a process involved.
Mm-hmm.
We start as babes in Christ, but we grow. So what can we put into that to help everybody grow to become what it is we are destined to be?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't wake up. Well, I'm not waking up tomorrow, and I'm 65 years old. I've been in this a long time, but it took me 65 years to get to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody kept believing in me. They didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed the expectations. They kept that standard, of course, but they allowed room for process.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed room for growth. They allowed room for mistakes. And I started to say that by saying when the expectation's so high, you can't even forgive yourself when you make a mistake.
Man.
And so you get shame and you run away. And what are these? These are all after effects of trauma. So that's why bringing this in. And you've been traumatized in church with the hurt. But instead of staying there and growing through it, you run. Eventually you're going to come back to it because I don't care where you go. It's going to be the same.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Dr. Lisa, mom, my girl from back in the day. As someone who not only are you a clinician, you are also very, very heavily involved in church. How did you come to manage that? Because my mom is the pastor of my church. And like I said earlier, my dad is deceased now, so it's just her, right? Like she doesn't have that covering anymore. I know being in ministry full time, my mom also works in mental health. But what are some things that you did to kind of help balance the two? Because I'm sure that there were people who were saying oh, we just gonna go to God for everything. And you yes, and y'all gonna get y'all some therapy up in here. Well, how did you manage that? And what was the start of that for you?
The start of that for me, it had been going on for a long time. But when I first actually paid attention to the process, sometimes we get so involved in things that we're not able to objectively really see the process and see what is actually happening. So we think God's not working because we don't see results. But it's not just about results, it's about process. And when it first happened, it was a really trying time in my life. Now, God had led me to go into my master's program. And, my kids were grown. I thought it was supposed to be a good time. All this stuff. Hey, I can go back to school. God opened the door, woke me up in the morning. One morning and said, I need you going to Olivet. You're going to enroll in school. Tap my husband on the shoulder. That's it. Told him to wake up. I said, I'm going to enroll in the master's program. He was like, you don't have no money. I'm like, God said for me to go today. They were about to close the program because they needed 9 people. They had 8. I was the 9th one to walk through the door.
Wow.
Hey, that was God's time.
Wow.
So it was good. My first year was good. My second year, it was like the bottom fell out. It was like the bottom fell out. And it fell out, looked like in every direction. Now we got, my husband's working. That's supposed to be a good time. Just it's a series of years. He goes in for surgery. Now I'm not only am I in school, I have to take over pastoring full time. I got to work full time. I got to be wife, caretaker, mother. And I'm like, God, if you hadn't sent me and shown me that, I would know for sure this wasn't you. And I would quit. And so then he told me, he said, I need you to look at the process of what I'm doing because I'm with you. He gave me this theory that I use. It's the framework of everything I use based on principles. And one, I call it a destiny theory just because I don't know what else to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I've got a plan for you. There's a destiny that I have for you, a place of fulfillment and existence, not a one-time stop, but a place where all of the stops.
Yeah.
All of the stops. It's a land. And destiny to me then became a place of existence, a place of fulfillment. Not just a one thing, but a plethora of things, if I can use that word.
Yeah.
He said, but what you're facing now is some conditions, some catastrophic conditions that are working to pull you away from destiny. But if you will look in my word, I've got a solution. There's a sanctified solution in my word. And if you can apply it with discipline and make decisions out of discipline, not emotions, but out of discipline. And the discipline was like discipled ones, people who are trained in the word of God, who have learned the word of God and have governed our lives based on it. If you make decisions out of these principles, then doors will open. You'll see that I've already ordained them. If I can order your steps, then what kind of wise God wouldn't do that, right? Yeah. Like, I'm not a dummy. I'm a wise God. If I got a plan, I know how to get you there, but I need you on board with it. So it taught me then to start looking at the process and to balance what was. I know a lot of people say, don't look at what at what you see. It's really hard not to look at what you see.
That part. Yeah.
It's so hard. We tell people, don't look at what you see, just keep going. I'm like, but it's like, bam, all in my face. What am I going to use? What am I supposed to look at then if I'm not looking at that? How do I see beyond what I see?
Right.
To see what I see.
Yeah.
Where's that? Where does vision come in? And vision, a lot of times, it can throw us off because we don't know where to put it, right? We just know it's a vision. We see it in our mind's eye. We see it in our spirit, but all of these other things keep creeping in and they talk louder, they look louder, they look brighter. They, whether it's the tragedy or the trauma, and they'll make us give up. And it take a lot to hold on. So the Lord just told me, he said, you got to trust. And again, trust. And when you have a lot of trauma, you don't trust.
Yeah.
When the bottom's falling out, it's hard to trust.
Hello.
When you've been hurt, it's hard to trust.
Oh,
So, and you got to forgive. But he wasn't talking about me forgiving other people. He was talking about me forgiving me for the things that I thought I was failing him at. So this is where the balance started coming in for me. And it started making sense. Some things that my dad had been saying for years, oh yeah, that sounds good. Go on, Dad. But and he would say, he would start out with a framework. So I was like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. That sounds good. But then it started meaning something to me, that we are body, soul, and spirit. He believed that we were not dicot, we were tricot. Body, soul, and spirit. Now, both theories are supported in scripture. I choose to believe the body, soul, and spirit. And in researching those words, they're not translated the same either in the Hebrew or the Greek. They're different. I believe that we started out as a lump of clay, and then God breathed into us the breath of life, which was his spirit, and he turned something on in us, and we became a living soul. And within our soul is our mind, our will, our emotion, our intellect, and our imagination. And each of those things play a part that connects us to him spiritually. And then we filter it through our soul, and we live it out in our natural body. Yeah. Our natural daily existence. So all of these things started coming together and making sense to me, and looking at now separating areas, even though we are whole, still separating those areas, how they interlinked, how they connected, and how do I get these effects in my life. Being trained, and I like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and some of the others, but looking at like things that,
CBD.
I was going to say, you say CBD.
I was like, oh, mama, you
CBG.
You got some things to explain. I didn't know you got down, mama.
Oh, Lord.
Mama.
CBD is not marijuana.
Yeah.
THC.
Correct.
Well, CBD comes with it, so I'm just saying. Like
CBD comes from it.
I was like, oh, mama.
I got a question.
Well, I never.
Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead, Rich. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't know. But you're in Vegas. Hey, it's not
I'm in the city where grace abounds.
Well, stage in Vegas follows you sometimes. Listen,
all the time. I don't care what they say. You know, on a side note, they had to change that slogan. They changed that. That is not their slogan anymore.
That's true. I haven't heard that no more. That is true.
Happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right.
I'm like, not with social media.
Right.
It don't.
Right. They want to get sued no more. I don't know.
Go ahead, Rich. Yeah, you got it.
I got a question. As a young, assistant pastor on the South Side of Chicago, making this transition, and not dying or nothing like that, but just going into that. Anyway, I got a question because you talked about the mindset, and this is something I want to kind of get into. Understanding suffering for the person that has the mindset of, if I suffer a long time, the more I suffer, the more I'm in pain. God gave me this mental illness. God gave me this health issue. Whatever it is, he's put me in this place and I'm suffering it. Obviously, that's making me more holy. I must be closer to God. This is while I'm suffering, going through all of these things. Can you speak to the person? How can we reconcile that? And in the belief of, as I'm going through this struggle, I still have to feel that God is good. How do I keep that while I'm going through what I'm going through?
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna pick apart a little bit. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
So I can answer it, or at least give my recommendations or my thoughts towards it.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of other thoughts, but one is a person's belief system. What is that belief system? And why do they believe that suffering is godliness? I mean, I'm trying to make this make sense.
Because, sometimes, and what comes is, Jesus suffered, our suffering Savior. And if Jesus suffered, I must be like Jesus at moments. And it's okay for me to suffer and remain in this situation that I'm in.
Now, that's the part right there. The remaining.
Come on.
Situation. And that's going to be tied directly to a belief system. Like, so, like, where's the person getting the idea that suffering has to last always? Where are the examples? Where are the biblical examples, for instance? It's got to last always. And how do they define suffering? What is that? What is the operating definition of suffering for them?
Okay.
Are they suffering financially? Are they suffering physically? Are they suffering mentally, emotionally? Are they suffering, where are they suffering and why? Because here's what I have found. And the reason I want to address it is because some people use this as an escape, as a reason not to do some things. I can't do that because I'm sick. God done gave me this. Stop blaming God for giving you something.
Come on, Dr. Lisa.
Not only has he given you that, but he's giving you a sanctified solution to help you out of it. Or help you manage it. Because what's most important to God is fulfilling the purpose that he set us here to do.
Yeah.
And anything that blocks that purpose ain't God. So they have to define, is it temporary? And if it's temporary, or if it's remaining, why is it remaining? Why are you why are you making a temporary thing, whether it's good or bad, your permanent station?
Wow.
When my mom was sick, she had breast cancer, a period of time of breast cancer. She called all us to her house and she said, I lived a good life. I've been good to y'all. And I'm like, whoa, where are we going with this?
Right.
This sounded mighty. Wait, you sound like you finna give up. Yeah. And so I just said that, and I had to start praying because I'm like, okay, something ain't right now. This ain't the mama I know.
Right.
And so I said, Lord, what? And the Lord told me, said, just tell her this. Say, this is just a stop. It's an event. It is not your destiny.
Mm.
This is just an event. And when we make events, regardless of how long they are or what they are, when we have the mindset that I just have to accept it forever because this is me. And there are some things that are, but not that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you the battle is the mind. How are we thinking?
Yeah.
Now, if our soul, remember I told you what body, soul, and spirit, our soul is our mind, our will, our emotion, our intellect, and our imagination. Our mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our mind is our thinker. That's where we think.
Mm-hmm.
Our will is our chooser. Our
Mm.
emotions,
Mm-hmm.
that's our feeling. Our intellect, that's our learner. And our imagination is our visionary. So if we're taking these scriptures, how are we thinking about it? What's our mind telling us? And if our mind is skewed in any way, so if we're taking what God has and we're filtering it through our soul, it hits our mind, and our mind then decides that it is something. Our will chooses it, our feelings attached to it, our intellect, we start to learn more about it in a way that our mind has shaped it. And that's very important. This is how our mind has shaped it, or this is how our emotions have shaped it. So I'm going to decide based on that. People decide so many things based on what they think, not what they know.
Yeah.
There's a difference between what we think and what is actually fact.
Yeah.
So just learning, getting in there, the area of our soul, that's our make or break. That is our make or break. So when you're working with people as pastors, as Christian leaders, you got to spend time talking to them, to ask them these questions so you know where they're thinking. You got to know what these belief systems are that are guiding their lives. And are they scriptural? What is their scripture reference? What's the thing they're holding on to? Everybody got a base scripture that they live their life by. What is it? What is that? And how is it working for you in your life? You know, do you, the one thing that God gives us all the time is choice.
Yeah.
I'm against anyone that violates free will. Why? Because God himself won't even violate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He honors the ability, whosoever will.
Yeah.
Whoever chooses, let him come. Here's, he said, behold, I place before you, Joshua said, behold, I place before you life and death. Therefore, choose life. Right? In scripture, it says that, therefore, choose life. I'm giving you the answer, but you still get to choose. Choose life, that you and your seed may live. So if someone, and I promise you, if somebody is living that, I don't know if you guys know, in our field, there's something that we call co-regulation.
Co-regulation?
Co-regulation.
Okay.
People around you, especially with parents, our kids will co-regulate with our emotions, our thoughts, everything.
Gotcha. So co-regulation, make sure I'm understanding it. That means they'll take on almost like what you're thinking and what you're feeling is contagious, basically. Kind of.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm having a bad day. I'm having a bad day. It starts out bad. I'm full of anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm screaming, I'm yelling, and maybe it's out of some trauma that I've had. Maybe I've been triggered, or maybe I'm just stressed and overwhelmed, which is normal with parents now. Parenting is a public health crisis. Care what nobody says.
Wow.
So then
Surgeon
now my
General.
kids all over the place. They don't know what to do with that. The atmosphere now has been, it's just wide open. It's charged with anxiety. So then you start to see the kids run around with it. Anybody that's in daycare, in education, we see kids come in different days and they may look different. But if we stop, greet them at the door, and we see the parents dropping them off and they take up speed out the parking lot on two wheels, we know their kid's going to be like when they get to school in the morning.
Yes.
They're going to be highly charged.
So true.
Versus a morning that has started out with some routine. The kids are going to adapt to that and co-regulate. So people around us co-regulate. You know, and we talk about it, but let me use some words that we use in church. Set the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sense it in the atmosphere. I see it in the atmosphere. I feel it in the atmosphere. I feel it in my shando.
Whoa, watch it. Oh, hold me.
I feel it in my shando.
Hold me. Windshield wipers.
And so, that's, but it means to co-regulate. So if I were a researcher, just watching the reactions of people, even sitting in the congregation, how are we affecting one another?
Yeah.
So how's that thought? How's that thought and that mindset about suffering? If the pastor believes suffering is what you're supposed to do, then those who believe it too are going to be drawn, and you're going to see a congregation of people who believe in suffering. Now, suffering ain't the same for self-sacrifice.
Okay. You just preached right there. Right. I'm trying to hold it.
You just said a thing like,
no, Lord, let me get it.
Whoa, wait a minute. Yeah. That was actually really good.
Don't nobody want to be healed. And my husband used to say, y'all don't be coming up here for me to pray for you to be healed. But you know good and well, your illness is attached to that Social Security check you get every month.
Oh,
you ain't working and you ain't ready to let it go.
Got a story, real story. We was in church, spirit was high, and we was ready to call to heal people. It was a anointing of healing in the atmosphere, right?
Uh-huh.
So it was a woman person came up to us and said, "Hey, listen, I know if you were to lay hands on me, I would be healed.
So don't touch me.
I get the Social Security check. I'm not coming up there, so I'm just gonna keep on living with it and just see what the end gonna be." That's the real story, guys. Southside Chicago. Lord help us.
It's real. So now getting back to what you asked me that tied into some of what we were saying before. When people have to let go of these excuses, that's what they become. But they let me get spiritual. They resurrect an altar and they want to stay there. And you can't move them because they steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Tree. I like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Repent then.
But I ain't bearing no fruit.
Come on.
Even in season. All right, but anyway. But we misinterpret. See, this what happens when we filter things through our mind and our belief system is and through our experiences. We cannot forget our experiences, is that we misinterpret the fact, the meaning, the background, what actually was intended to happen. Why in the whole world and all the heavens would God send Jesus to sacrifice his only son, to shed his blood for us to keep doing what we were doing before he came?
And stay in the same place.
To just stay in a suffering, non-productive state.
Right.
Why did he offer healing to the man by the pool of Bethesda that had been there 38 years?
Wow.
The man was suffering. Why did he offer healing to the woman with the issue of blood? Why did he? Why would he? Why did people flock to him? Because he came to relieve the suffering. You know what I'm saying? So it's a belief system.
Yeah.
Now getting back, there are people who will use that illness for a check, right? They use that illness as a reason every time you ask them to do something or try to hold them accountable or responsible. They come back with you, but I'm sick.
Yeah.
You know, I got the sugar. I got this arthritis.
I got the sugar.
Get you a therapist who understands what I got the sugar means.
Right.
You guys, real story. You know, the job that I just left, I supervised a lot of therapists, and one day we were talking about some things like just some economic things that and physical health things that affect families. And so somebody said, well, you know, their mother got sugar. I wish you could have seen all the teams chat. Question mark.
See?
Diabetes, y'all.
That's what we
Diabetes.
mean by cultural competency. That's what we mean by cultural competency. Like
We call it sugar.
Yeah. I got the sugar. Why?
Right, I got the sugar.
Oh Lord, help us today.
Y'all know. But then we see people who, on the other hand, deal with diseases that should kill them.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they have this zeal, this unction, this push. This, where does that start? It's in the mind. It's their perspective.
Yeah.
If you have a perspective that suffering is close to God, then you're gonna hold on to that until you meet him and he challenge you and say, "What is wrong with you?"
That's good.
The first thing I tried to save was your mind, because it's the mind. The battleground is the mind. It's the renewing of the mind that brings on change.
Yeah.
So we have to change the way we think.
Yeah.
We have to change the way we think about what we think. We have to change the way we think about what we feel. We have to change the way we think about what we do. We have to change the way we think.
It's good.
And we have to change the way we feel about what we think.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do. We got
a lot of work to do.
And we have to change what we do about what we think.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's so much. But
there's
these
layers. Levels to this, man.
Look, everything the devil done provided a way for you. God has provided a way. The crux of it is the human factor.
Yeah.
It's the human factor. We got to do the work.
Yeah.
We have to choose. We have to learn. I mean, it's so much. It's way too much.
Yeah.
Here's some music.
I believe that God will be with us as we go through that journey. It doesn't mean that we are just solely doing therapy and God has left us. That's not God is going to be with us throughout that journey. But like the Bible says, to renew our minds daily. We have to constantly be renewing our minds because, like you said, Dr. Lisa, that's where it all starts. It starts up here. And if we're not renewing our minds daily and trusting God along the journey, then we're lost. We truly are lost.
We had a kid in Hopkins Park that came to our church. Oh my God, he was the sweetest kid. And one time it had a fire and the trailer burned down. And we had some volunteers that were coming that Saturday. He had signed up to work. And so I'm in the process and telling them, I'm right in the middle of telling them he won't be with us today. So, we have somebody else that's going to step in. As I'm saying that, here he is, bright and smiling. Hi, Pastor Lisa, I'm here. I was like, I thought he said, oh yeah, it's happened before. It'll probably happen again. And everybody's just standing there like,
wow.
So now in my mind, I'm thinking, have you accepted this as your normal? Or have you adjusted it to something that is outside of your scope of control? Where are you with this? But it was sounding like he had accepted this as his normal.
Just exit today.
And when we accept suffering as our normal, you might want to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah. And it's a lot of people that I think have accepted it as the norm. It's the woe is me. I'm less than a worm. I'm nothing. I can't be without. I got the. It becomes. I don't know. It becomes like you tell me all the time. False humility, or it becomes stop walking around with this false humility, or it becomes something that somebody poured so much on you because I always brag about this great dichotomy that I have, because I come from two parents who allowed us to learn and experience things from the world. Y'all allowed us to, y'all never sheltered us too much, if I can put it that way. You know what I mean? But then I found myself as I got older in spaces where that wasn't the case. The way our church ran stuff, I found out people were much more sheltered, much more in a bubble, much more a certain way. And then you start to learn, you try to figure out why do you think this is wrong, or you can't do this, or you can't experience that. And that bubble really comes from this lack of self-worth. If I get away from this, then, I I'll be taken by the devil, or I'll be. And it's like, what happened to this Holy Ghost? You got all this hedge of protection and all this. Greater is He who is in me than he who's in the world. And I just started to find out, like, man, people didn't even really believe that for themselves because they thought they were so fragile, like eggshells. Like everywhere they go, the devil gonna throw a dart and pierce the eggshell, and I'm gonna die and go to hell. Like, like all
Stay
these
away
people.
from there.
Zeke, who was it? Who was it that I said told us at Olivet? If you have a faith that you can't test against things in the world, then it ain't faith.
Was that Dr. Lowry?
That was Dr. Lowry.
Shout out to Dr. Kevin Lowry from Olivet. He was one of my favorite classes in undergrad. He was a Bible teacher, a little short guy, a little short white guy with a little beard and like a little. He'll get red in the face when he gets to talking real good. But I mean, he did not go with. If I could just be honest, he did not go with the conventional bubble thinking over at Olivet. I mean, he challenged me in that class, and I appreciate it to this day, like because it's just. It was like, no, think a little bit deeper than this. Like, Mom, tell this quick story then, because we are 5 over right now, and you are coming on tonight on APC. No, this is good. We've been running over the last couple days because this is good conversation. This is the kind of stuff we want to introduce.
Absolutely.
But to that effect, I guess we'll close it right here, and then I'm gonna let Rhonda and Rich say a couple words, and Rich, if it's okay, I'm gonna let my mom pray us out today. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
So we'll do it that way. But can you tell this story real quick, Mom? Like, because you said if you're a faith that can't be tested against something, we do have a lot of church folks that are here. We do have a lot of folks who have maybe been in church, walked away from it, folks who are in church trying to figure stuff out, folks who are deconstructing, folks who are reconstructing. We just got everybody over in the Lock Stars, and we don't throw nobody out. So yeah, this is what we do. It's a safe space over here. But you mentioned something. You mentioned Dr. Kevin Lowry, and you were in a course when you were getting was this your doctorate you were getting, right? And you had to be able to share your faith without using scripture. Like, dive into that a little bit. Like, or it was something like it was something along those lines. Like, you couldn't come back to the Bible. You had to be able to present, because you, as a counselor, you don't. It's not about reaching Christians. It's just about reaching people. Yes. So, what happens when you reach somebody who doesn't share the same faith system? How do you still be a light without doing? Can you approach that just real quick?
It's good.
Dr. Lowry would ask questions, and so there were a couple people in my class.
That's my wife, y'all.
Excuse me. Before we continue, there's another person on the screen, Miss Kim Yada. You didn't say have to. Okay, but it's all good. All right, go ahead, continue.
So he would throw out questions, right? And he would ask. He would say, "Okay, so give me something that supports your belief." Would be his first question. What do you think? Yay or no? We'd have to choose a 1 or 2 for yes or no. Sometimes he'd get creative. We have to go stand in the line. You put something on the board. Do you agree or disagree? Yeah. So then he would ask. He say, "Okay, so tell me why you believe that." And so I had one person who, she was really bold, wonderful, and one of my co-students, she would quote our scripture, because the Bible says and he would say, Who else says it? Who else says it? Well, but you're talking to somebody now who don't know Jesus.
Yeah.
So if they don't know him, they're not going to believe what he says. So if what the Bible says is real, you're going to be able to find it someplace else.
Oh, my God.
So it's going to be backed up someplace else. Because if you believe it as absolute truth, you need to find me something else you can use. Every time she was in tears one day, and so he stopped and he said, "I need to address this." And so he went through and talked about why he did that. And in our class, we had people doing reports on like gay marriage and gay parents raising children, and he wanted things like, what are the statistics? What do the statistics show? And when they got done with a report, it showed that they were better parents than.
Oh, wow. Really?
Their kids suffered less economic stress.
I can see that.
They went to better schools. They lived in better neighborhoods.
But that would make sense, right? If you think of 2 males, right? As
Yeah, okay, never mind. Go ahead, finish. Continue. I let it go. Go ahead.
It could be two females. It could be two males.
No, I'm just thinking in society, as they said, men make more than women.
Yeah,
I'm
they earn
not
better.
belittling. I'm just saying I can see economic how they can be better if you got two well-off men
I can see that.
raising a kid. That's what
Yeah.
I meant by that. But yeah, please.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah.
So he said, so your statistics don't hold up with your belief that a kid is worse off in a gay household.
Wow.
He said, now you need to walk me through what you believe and why you believe against that statistics. So you got to be able to know and defend. He said, but you can't even defend something you don't know. You got to know it.
Right.
Then you introduce why you choose not to believe it. Because that's what it is. It's a choice. Why have you chosen? What's your framework that has chosen it? He said, but you can't just shut people down talking about because the Bible said the Bible don't agree with that. So I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But that's not how. That means you can't stand for your faith to be challenged. And you have to allow your faith to be challenged. And if it still comes out faith, like fear is one of the biggest challenges of faith. Fear, doubt. But with fear, you know that faith has overridden your fear. If even though you still feel afraid, you keep pushing, your faith is in charge. But if you keep believing and sitting and not moving, your fear is in charge.
Wow. That's some good stuff, guys.
That's a good
notes, for real.
That's a good stop point right there, right? I think that's something to lean on right there, because that just actually hit me right there.
Yeah.
if you sitting down, like when stuff is gonna hit you either way. The mess is gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. And if you sit down on it, you know your fear is in charge. But when you get up, then you know your faith is in charge.
Your faith
is like that's a good spot for people to stop right there and just think and rest on that, because tonight at 7:30 we're getting back on live. Me and my mama with her ponytail. I see that ponytail back there, mama.
Come on.
I was looking like, is that a ponytail in my
Vegas, baby. I tell you about
me
Vegas,
and my mama
boy.
and her ponytail. We're gonna be on live tonight on I'll put the link in my Facebook. So if you follow me on Facebook, make sure that you're follow me down there on Facebook. I'm gonna put a link to that conversation because it'll be on APC Morgan Park's YouTube page. But if I can, I might go live through my page as well, just to reach even more people. So we'll figure those logistics out today when I get into the office. But yeah, we'll pick up that conversation tonight with that. Like I said, this has become a 5-part conversation with me and my mama around this. There's this morning, then there's tonight. So please jump back on. Of course, you'll be here in town on Thursday. So on Friday morning, you're as soon as we get off the show on Friday, I'm coming to pick you and Daddy up. So of course that's happening. And then
please don't pick me up on Friday because I'm coming in on Thursday.
Well, no, I mean on Thursday after the show. I'm going straight from the show to pick you up. Yeah. And then on Friday.
Go to sleep, man.
No. But if Friday morning you'll be on with us. Like we'll just be live together in the rooms. Like we'll get that set up and everything. And then of course Saturday is in person. Let me put that up there just one more time for the get. Yeah, you'll be in the room with us on Saturday, and that's going to be a great conversation. That's going to be a good time. I don't know how I muted everybody, but some kind of way I muted everybody. Oh, because this thing is playing. Okay, well, it's going to go away in a second. Hold on, watch my sound effects, y'all. Watch my sound effects. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God! Oh, Jesus Christ! See, this is what happens when you give up too quickly. These things happen. That's what, I was trying to count it down, but that's where you want to be on this Saturday with as we continue this conversation, and then Sunday, of course, at 12:30. Also at APC Morgan Park. They're bringing my mama in to have these conversations, and that's exactly what we want to do. And so I want to make sure all my lock stars and the rock stars are all invited out there. You are there. Mama, I got to tell you 2 things. First one is Aunt Kathy is on here. So give a shout out to her. Andrew was on Instagram, so we'll give a shout out over there. And then yeah, and then the other one is Rhonda. I'm gonna go ahead and just tell her. Rhonda is like, your mother is the smartest woman in the world. I want her to mentor me. Like, I want her to mentor me.
Anytime.
Me, please.
I told her, I said, link up to it. That's a good, yeah, absolutely. Rhonda's someone I can vouch for. I wouldn't have her on the show repeatedly if not. So.
Right.
Yeah, because because what she does with her podcast, she has these kinds of real conversations. Now they more real over there. They have fun over there. They they have the real conversation. You gonna hear some words over there. But but she's dropping knowledge, like for real. So
real is real because we live in a real world, and our challenge, our everyday work, is to maintain who we are while we're still growing.
Yeah.
Maintain the basics of who we are.
That's good.
And be stable despite all the changes that are going on.
Yeah.
Do we follow every fad? If we're gonna use spiritual words, am I like the tumbleweed? Am I like the just blowing in the wind? No. I'm dead fast. I'm moving. How do we stay stable? And hold on to a belief when our economy tanks? How do we believe God is still, that's our work. That's our real work in this real world. And if we don't know what we're facing, that's when we're living in a bubble.
Yeah.
Like it won't touch you. Oh no, it touch us every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yes. Well, that's what Rondo on the Rocks does. So we got to
send me your link.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to put more of that on there so we can make sure you see her. She's on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. So yeah.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, is it? Your time?
No. She's in the evening time. They have the
1 a.m.
They doing the night show. It's me that decided to get up early in the morning every day. I don't know what I was thinking because these little short drama series got a hold of me in the middle of the night, and then I can't sleep.
Just be careful when she bring a teacup out. You better watch it. Oh boy!
When she bring that teacup out, yeah, man, it's real, damn boy. She bring that shot, that Rondo on the Rocks glass, boy. It's
yeah. Hey, have you read Dr. Laura Schlesinger?
Me?
Rhonda.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
You need to look her up. Read some of her stuff. She's old school. So back when I was living in Hopkins when I discovered Dr. Laura.
Okay.
But she's she has something. I have some books that I just reread and just keep handy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
One of them that she did was 10 stupid things women do to mess up their lives. She's got 10 stupid things men do to mess up theirs. I mean, it's like everyday stuff because this is from her, like her radio stuff and people that she's counseled. Just real stuff.
Okay.
Another one is Women Who Love Too Much. That's not by her. I think that's who is that? You can look it up. I think it's on Amazon.
How do you know I need
Audible.
Women Who Love Too Much? Yeah, you your Holy Ghost this morning.
You read that? Did you read it?
No, I haven't read it, but I need to.
Because this author parallels love with as an addiction. That some women actually are addicted to men that they think they can save. That's a real conversation.
Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
Especially tied into now with stuff like gaslighting, narcissistic personality, and just knowing these trends. My thing, I'm into prevention. I believe if we can prevent some things, the work is so much easier than having to untie and untangle it. But those are good ones. Those are some that old school knowledge ain't gone. It's the basics.
Yeah.
Still flows.
It's the foundation we build on, We may be in a new generation, but we building on something. Rhonda, did she just read your house?
In my neighborhood, then she came in my house, then she came in my bedroom. Listen, now, you ain't have to do that on the internet. I said, mentor me offline.
Right.
you ain't have to say, I don't know. You ain't have to say nothing.
Yeah, your Holy Ghost. I'm trying to tell you. That's how I know you're real.
Well, listen, y'all. We gonna definitely continue this conversation on tonight, on Friday. Rhonda's back on with us on Friday too. So, Rhonda, if you got time and you want to stick around a little bit longer on Friday, she's on with us from 8:30 to 9. But if you want to stick around longer, please do. Like on that day as well. So, yeah. So we're gonna close this out because we're so far over time. But it's been good. It's okay. Like this. this week I've left room to be able to do just that. Like that's now all my people, y'all won't normally find that when we going this far over. At 10 o'clock, I'll be off this mug. So. But yeah, definitely. Jonathan, I'm gonna address your question in a second, but I want everybody to be able to close something out. So I'm gonna do it like this. Rhonda, I'm gonna let you say your last words. Your first last word. You know what I mean? Not your last words, but your last words for the show, for this particular episode. Go ahead.
Follow me at Rhonda on the Rocks on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Check out the podcast. It does stream on Apple and Spotify as well as YouTube as well. I will see you guys Friday. Zeke, please stay encouraged. This
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say too much because I get emotional. But
don't make me cry because I'm getting emotional now. Oh.
This is ministry. This is ministry. I know we always go back to churchy. This is truly ministry, and I'm grateful for this platform. So,
girl, listen, y'all. Oh, don't get me emotional because I start running my mouth and we gotta go. Rhonda on the Rocks, you about to make me cry. Oh my Lord! Thank you for being with us and for staying longer today too. I know you had things to do, but you stayed on here and you kept the conversation going, and that was incredible. Thank you for being vulnerable all the time as always, and that's what's saving and helping. People like that you're vulnerable even through that. So I love you and appreciate you, girl. Rich Holmes, what you got past the APB, Rich?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I hope something was said today to encourage you to keep you going. Just want to let you know, like I always say, life is choice driven. You will live or die by the choices you choose to make. Hey, I got a hint for you. Choose life. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Hey, Rich Holmes. Now, Rich usually prays us out, Mama, but since you on with us and you just dropped all the nuggets and you just went through Rhonda's house and destroyed her bedroom and her living room and took the clothes out the closet and threw them on the floor, then now since you done tore us down, now you got to build us up in prayer. So, so you mind praying us out, Mama? Just a word of prayer for the people. We like to do a benediction for the peoples all the time. So,
all right. So I'm going to focus this prayer today on strength. That you will have the strength. That God will give you the strength. And at times when you think you need more than him just giving you strength, that you will let him be your strength and let him carry you. So let's just pray right now. Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for these, your precious people. I thank you for Zeke, Rich, and Rhonda, who are focused in on reaching multiple generations and nations of people to help them to understand that you are still a relevant God, that you are a God who can still be touched by the feeling of every infirmity, that you are still the God who can understand the times and the seasons, that you are still the God that can speak to us through it all. I thank you for them. I pray you would strengthen them. And now, God, I pray that you would strengthen your people, that no matter what they are going through, no matter what they're facing, that you will give them the strength to make a choice. I'm reminded of how Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he prayed so hard that blood ran from him, like sweat was like blood, and got almost hemorrhaged trying to make a decision. But he finally said, "Not my will, but your will be done." That you will strengthen each and every one of us to continually thank you, despite of what we're going through. That we will be able to continually say to you, not just my will, Lord, but your will be done. Align us with your will. Give us the strength to stand with your will. Because once that happens, God, then you line up heaven behind our choice. You line up heaven behind our strength. You line up heaven behind our position. And you then have permission to do the things that we need you to do. So we just thank you today. Now strengthen them in their inner man. Strengthen that spirit man, strengthen that inner heart, that inner core, so that they may stand strong. Strengthen that inner core so that they may think strong. Strengthen that inner core so that they might live in victory and not be ashamed of serving a true and living God, or being ashamed to proclaim you to the world, even when it's not popular. We'll give you the grace and all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. My Lord. This Mama, thank you for being on with us this morning, getting up early in the morning at the absolute last minute. Because this was not planned.
Thank God. Look, and thank God that the munchkins stayed asleep. They still
my nieces, yeah, because they would have They would have run through there and tore it all apart. That's
They'd have been on camera.
all right. Hey, uncle. Hey, uncle. Like, oh my God. Well, I love all of y'all. Make sure y'all come back tonight as we continue in that conversation. I love y'all so much. And I just want y'all to know that I'm very appreciative of the guests that we've had, that we're having this week, this conversation that we're having. I know we ran over by about 30 minutes on today, and so that's all right. That is absolutely all right. Someone asked the question. I want to make sure I approach that real quick. Someone asked the question, how do the people sow and how do the people give? Listen, y'all, me and Rich put that out there, and I said, we need some sponsors. And then people legitimately started sponsoring us. Like, so a moment of transparency. We put it out there, God answered, and we didn't have a structure. I'm going to take y'all back to the second episode of Zeke Live in the Morning with Jerry Thompson, who told us, make sure you have a structure, build the structure out. We're building the structure out. So we've been accepting not donations, but sponsorships, because we come back and tell people about your stuff. We do that. But we're getting it structured a little bit better. So we might be a little slow to that. But if you want to give, we'll figure out a way, Rich, we'll figure out a way people can give if they want to. But we're structuring it because I really do believe in what we're doing over here. That's the only reason I'm getting up early in the morning to do this. It's literally the only reason I'm getting up that early. All right, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Make sure y'all follow us over here. We got on YouTube. It's a better listening experience. Follow us there. Follow us on Facebook on my page, Zeke Lock. Follow me on Instagram, Zeke Lock New X. Thank y'all to all the Instagram people that tuned in. I know we don't get a chance to really see y'all's comments over here, but I try to do my best to watch out for y'all. Y'all come back on mañana. Y'all come back tonight if you got some time on APC Morgan Park. Other than that, I love y'all. I hope this conversation was a blessing to you. I hope that this was everything you dreamed it would be. All right, I love y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a good rest of your day. And to all my lock stars who tune in to Zeke Live in the Morning, I told y'all this is a great way to start your day. We'll see you on tomorrow morning, 7:30, every weekday, right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. One day we'll be saying right here on, I don't know, CBS or right here on ABC or something like that one day. Till then, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I love y'all. I will see y'all. God bless you. God bless you.